All right, we good. Yep. Yep. All right, we are live. I am living next to a fire station, apparently.
Hey, they coming to check
But
in on
we
that
Gucci.
party.
That's a fact. But we Gucci. Let me tweet this out real quick. That niggas know we live. Bet. Alright, man. What's cracking, gang? It's your boy Sensei Leg Glove, the bald head black anime nerd, back in this bitch. We are back with volume 13 of Gloves Off. I'm here with a few of the homies. This time around, we will be talking Togashi. So I have a few Togashi lovers and haters in this bitch. So this should make for a very interesting conversation. I will let my homies introduce themselves. I guess I'll start at the top of the list versus who I'm looking at. Black, what's cracking, bro? This your first time on. How you doing, bro?
Nothing much. Appreciate you bringing me on. Yeah, this your boy Black Hole Player, aka SSS Black. And I'm just interested what this conversation gonna be because Gloves Off has always been interesting to listen to. So now I'm on the other side. I want to see how I can get this in.
Indeed, brother. Come with your takes, man. Lord Dritzenor, man. How you doing? Appreciate you pulling up.
No problem, man. Good to be here.
Cool. JB, what's cracking? We got JB from Enemy Lately. What's up?
What's good, man? Thanks for inviting me on, and I am here to defend my boy Togashi.
There you go. Need some of them. Lord Legend is currently having a party at his crib right now, so he is indisposed. So he probably will be in and out of this conversation, mostly out, but a little bit in. Steve-O, what's cracking, bro?
Not much. Just always chilling. I just came to represent for Togashi.
Oh, fair enough. Mr. Hemmings, what up, dog?
I'm just chilling. I set my 64 up so I can play my new TV. And y'all already know I have no love for Togashi, so let's just do it.
Okay. And lastly, Real World Villain, aka Take Guy. What's cracking, bro?
What's good? You know why I'm here? To slander the Togashi haters. So let's get it.
Fair enough. All right, man. So I'm not gonna hold y'all too fucking long. We're gonna get straight into these topics. The first topic I have is Togashi's influence. Where do we see Togashi's imprint the most in anime?
Does Hunter x Hunter count?
No. Something not made by Togashi.
That's easy. I could just give you one off the bat. Short characters that's actually dope as hell.
What you mean by short? Like size wise?
You got Hiei who hella small, but you already know to give you those hands. So happen to be another sword user in anime. Maybe not sword user, but ODM user who actually.
I only have one question. For what reason are you attributing that to Togashi? I'm just curious. I'm literally just curious. Just not even trying to be an asshole. I'm just curious.
I mean, I look at it like I know it's short characters, but mainly they like the old grandmas and stuff like. To shit, what's the damn thing? Going back to Yu Hakusho, he making Hiei obviously smaller than everybody. Influenced a lot of different manga artists going on to the future because normally your character got to be big, strong, fast, tall. Making Hiei be hella badass. Like
Goku
that.
wasn't that.
Most MCs, in my opinion, tend to be on the shorter side for shonen.
Yep.
My Hero, Naruto, One Piece, Aaron.
So is Black trying to say that MCs that are short get they shit from Togashi? Is that what you're
that's what I'm trying to figure out, because then I'm trying to I need proof. Prove it. Because this sounds like when people talk about Dragon Ball being the exact. We spoke about this last time, and I'm like, let's go back. How about Kaneko, man? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to prove that to me. Because Goku was short as hell in Dragon Ball, and he was breaking the mold in the 80s, because the 80s was hyper masculinity. You had niggas like Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star and stuff. That was what was popping, and obviously even like in the US, it was not like you guys. You had like the Terminator going on.
right?
Togashi, Toriyama actually went against the mold when he did that. So I just need to see. I knew this was gonna happen.
So I got a question. So let me ask y'all a question. Yeah, what do y'all feel is like signature Togashi?
Because I can actually I can actually answer the question, because I would argue that there's a lot of energy systems that kind of model the template after Togashi, like chakra.
I agree.
Like
that was where I would go.
That's the only thing I can think of.
That is like, that comes to mind immediately. But that short character thing, again, I don't know about that one, bro.
Anything else besides power systems?
No, I think the main thing for Togashi, at least from the casual perspective, is 100% the power systems. Even like if you go outside of other series, when people like attribute the things they like the most about Hunter x Hunter, at least in social media, a lot of it's about the Nen system. Even though like there's other great things about it, but when people talk about like, you know, the best this, that, or the other, I think it usually comes down to the magic system.
Like I would argue it made people care about energy and magic systems more.
Okay,
maybe.
So you feel as though anyone attempting to have a complex power system is mirroring Togashi?
Well, not necessarily that, but I think you see more influence on people that have saw the way Togashi did, and like, oh, that's a good way of doing that.
So Hunter x Hunter would be the first thing to come to mind when you see a complex energy system in manga.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. So is it fair to say? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I see Togashi's. I see people taking some of those concepts and running with them in certain arcs of certain animes. Like a good example would be the Chunin exam for Naruto, which, like, I think no one can argue was inspired by the Hunter exam. Like, literally the force of death. Like in Genkai's tournament of like Yu Hakusho, like they had to get out of the force from the middle, and like the fifth part, I think, of the Hunter exam, they had to get people's tags. And if you put those two together, you essentially get the forest of death. The only difference is you're trying to get into the middle of the forest with people's tags, which were scrolls in that case. Also, like the arc of Bleach right after Aizen was defeated, the Fullbringer arc, like the idea of like this villain coming back who used to be the guy who is the main character now, is pretty similar to the Sensei versus Yusuke shit from Chapter Black arc of Yu Yu. That's for like random ideas that like dictate the plot of certain arcs. Like people will tend to run with those. But I do think it's also mainly the power system. But that too.
Fair enough. Is it fair enough to say that we see a lot of Togashi in Jujutsu Kaisen? I see that in the comments.
I'm still trying to figure out where that's coming from. Like I saw a lot more Naruto and Jujutsu Kaisen personally. Just going off the first season. But that's
I can understand why they're saying that. The reason why I would say no is because I find that is it Gege or Gege? I don't remember. Gege, but I think I actually kind of I appreciate how Gege lets a lot of the readers just figure stuff out on their own instead of actually just spoon feeding you the whole thing. So I see a lot more Bleach influence in Jujutsu Kaisen 2 than I've seen anything else. But just to get back to the other thing real quick, tons of mangaka kind of the industry's a little bit what's the fucking term, self-incestuous or whatever the hell it is. Like they copy each other pretty often, but I've always made the joke that I like Bleach better when it was called Yu Hakusho.
Funny as hell.
I think Bleach mirrors you for my liking. I'm like, that's really similar. That Fullbringer arc to me is almost like a 1-for-1 replication of the Chapter Black arc in a lot of ways. Like I if you're gonna like take influence or something like that, I like a little small reference or like a clever Easter egg. I only like when it's too on the nose. That's just me though. because I don't really get hyper references unless it's really clever. I'm like, oh, that's good. Like you have to look for that one, not just like, haha, look, you did the video, deal. Like,
yeah, that's a good point.
That's not doing anything for me.
Like when I first brought it up, I was mainly just thinking about the villain, but now I think about it more. Like both of those arcs introduced like regular people having abilities when that wasn't a thing earlier in the series. It's probably more things I could come up with too. Yeah. Hey, stop Kubo.
Stop Kubo. Funny as hell. Okay. Anything within the last 5 years that we feel, besides Jujutsu, because we already talked about that, Togashi has an imprint on, and then we can move to the second topic.
I don't know. I don't.
You watched on anime? Like you don't watch anime anymore?
Yeah, if it's new nigga shit, I don't watch it. So I don't play it.
Fair enough.
I live in the 80s.
Fair enough. Dritz?
I'm in a similar boat to Naya, where I've read stories, but I'm not like caught up on a vast majority of the shonen, so I don't know if there is anything that I could think of outside of JJK.
Okay. JB, I ain't heard from you all this time. You got anything?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about it. Like, I'm not sure if I can think of like any anime that was like really like I can say truly inspired by Togashi. One thing that I will say is I feel like tournament arcs that we've seen after Yu Hakusho and after Hunter x Hunter, I feel like definitely had to look at what Togashi did and built on top of that to make them better. I think the Dark Tournament and I believe it's the Heaven's Gate tournament in Hunter x Hunter are like two of the greatest like tournament arcs ever in anime or manga, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And I feel like anyone like worth their salt would like look at those and just see like how Togashi did those tournament arcs in those series and try to make their own version of that and better, right? So that's kind of where I'm landing on it.
Okay. Cool.
I don't agree with that.
You said you don't?
No.
What you got to say, Hemmings?
Don't agree.
What's the cap?
I feel like I brought this up last time. I don't even know if it was the last one, but the last time I was on, but like Kaneko Man really was the one that kind of popularized those type of tournaments, I would say.
I've never seen Kaneko Man, so I can't agree or disagree with what you're saying.
You didn't see Ultimate Muscle on the Fox box?
Is that Kaneko Man?
That is Kaneko. That's like the English version, but that's Kaneko Man Nisei. That's actually the sequel with his son. That's not actually the original Kaneko Man.
I was saying, I did see Ultimate Muscle for sure.
But also that's Fox box. That's like they're gonna kidify.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
It's not even the same show. Yeah. But is that? But yes, but that's what I'm talking about though.
Okay, fair enough. No, yeah, I haven't seen this, so I can't like.
Honestly, it's kind of hard to believe until you really see it, because my friend Simi, right, like that's his favorite manga, and like he'd always kind of like me and him always be like, bro, people just go like, oh, Dragon Ball's the father of shonen, like it's not true, blah blah. Like he would always tell me, and then I could never really unsee it. Not to attribute all shonen credit, everything to Kaneko Man, but a lot of the things that like other series get credit for, that's where it originated. That's all I'm saying. That doesn't necessarily mean they didn't do the idea better. I'm just saying that's where it came from.
Okay. Fair enough. I think we should be good there on influence. Moving on to the second topic, Togashi's greatest work. I want to know what y'all think Togashi's greatest work is. Obviously, he only had 2 of the joints.
Level E.
Oh, he got something else
Hilarious.
besides you and Hunter?
He does. It is his
really
work out of the 3, which is why he said that as a joke.
Oh, yeah, okay, better. When did Level E drop?
It was in between.
Yeah, it was
in between Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
Okay. What was that shit about?
I don't even know.
It was about, I don't even remember. It was about. Yeah,
I feel like it had something to do with aliens.
Nah, I bet.
I know there was a character from it that made a cameo in Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, in the Heaven's Arena. One of the announcers in the Heaven's Arena was the main character of Level E.
Funny as hell, not the main character. Take God, what is Togashi's greatest
Hunter x Hunter, of course, and it's not close at all.
Okay.
I'll be
Hemmings, what is
anybody who disagrees that we can just get to
watch. Yeah, I was about to say, does anybody disagree that Hunter x Hunter is Togashi's greatest work?
I think it's Yu Yu Hakusho.
With that.
If you're
okay,
if you're-
JB
if-
think it's Yu.
I like Yu Yu
disagree, it's
Hakusho
not
better,
close.
but I'm not high on either series.
Yeah, for me, it's Yu Yu Hakusho.
I'm waiting.
Like like I said before, the Dark Tournament to me personally is the greatest tournament arc we've ever gotten. I think Yusuke is such a different MC than we've gotten from a lot of other shonen MCs.
I like Yusuke.
I feel like Yusuke broke the mold. He's not like any other MC that we've seen. I love Hiei. Hiei might be my favorite character on Yu Yu Hakusho. Love Kuwabara. What was the redhead's name again? I can't remember right now. Kurama. Yeah. Kurama's awesome. Like I loved every single arc of Yu Yu Hakusho. I love the animation, the OSTs were dope. I love Hunter x Hunter, right? But for me, Gon should be the highlight, and Killua just overshines him in everything. And for me, everything came together in Hunter x Hunter. I mean, in Yu Yu Hakusho.
My only pushback is I have one pushback. I actually all I would say I've seen characters like Yusuke. That's all. But I do like him.
I've also seen characters like Yusuke.
Yeah, but I do like him. He's cool.
The badass with a heart of gold is actually kind of common.
Because
I'm not saying he's the only one like him that exists, but compared to a character like Gon, where you can pretty much find thousands of them that are more like Gon than they are. Like
I agree
Yusuke.
that Yusuke is probably a much more entertaining MC than Gon is.
To me, I agree with that, but
that might be cap too. I don't know. The way that Togashi uses Gon, it's like
fire,
he's almost.
It's
like he's deconstructing like that character trope the way he uses him in the show. Like it doesn't work out the way that it typically works out for like the lovable.
But
when it's gone.
I just agree, the way he but in terms of entertainment, he's not more entertaining than Yusuke.
I mean, I guess if you're just talking about character dialogue, but the way he's using a story, like I don't know, like the third or fourth best arc of Hunter x Hunter is better than every arc of Yu Yu to me. So I would strongly disagree with that, just because at the end of the day, it's the story, not just like the character themselves that matter. But
okay,
you know,
does anybody else feel as though Yu Yu is better than Hunter x Hunter? I know Mike's not.
I like Yu Yu Hakusho better. But
okay, but you don't think it's back and
forth.
I don't see. Here's the thing about me. I don't believe in a one size fits all thing. What are you looking for in your story? What do you value? That's what right. I think what you value, you're gonna prefer. Maybe someone like you get down with Yusuke because you like someone a little more traditionally badass, like 80s delinquent, Bancho type B, right? So I get that, but maybe you prefer like things that I think was it Tegad who said it earlier, like maybe you prefer more like a deconstruction or something like that. Like what do you prefer? Like like if you said which one could you read or watch the rest of your life and be okay, I don't mind Yu Yu Hakusho. I could throw Hunter x Hunter in the fucking garbage and light it on fire and never see that shit again and be good.
That's cap.
Interesting.
That is cap.
That's very cap. Dritz?
Kind of for me to have an opinion on this because I dropped Yu Yu Hakusho when I was a kid.
Fair enough.
Shortly into the what I think is called the Chapter Black arc, and I don't really have recollection of a whole lot of the series, so I mainly just have Hunter x Hunter opinions.
Fair enough. What is your opinion based on what was said?
But between which the series is better?
Or I guess your opinion on both. I mean, up to I guess some you can speak on as MC, some you can speak on as
you did see what is considered the best arc by a lot of people, even though they're wrong because Chapter Black is the best arc.
MCs, I would agree that my preference heavily lies with Yusuke over Gon.
Okay,
he's definitely has a bigger heart of the story when it comes to relating to the MC. Not that Gon's bad or anything or isn't good, but you'll commonly see from casual people that one of the biggest difficulties or entryways into getting into Hunter x Hunter is that many people do not like Gon. Okay. For whatever reason that may be. And I'm not saying they're justified in why they like that, but that's usually like a barrier.
What about
somebody else said it too, though. I wanted to speak on that. Somebody else said it too. And yeah, I think it messed up because personally, when it comes to Hunter x Hunter, like I prefer Hunter x Hunter, but the Dark Tournament was one of those arcs, like JB said, was one of those arcs that I remember watching on TV and being like, damn, this shit getting real. And Only like 10 or 11, and I'm like, nah, not recently. Not recently. No, not recently. No, not recently.
Overrated.
Not recently, but from what I remember, though, the fights are pretty good.
So it's the fight.
Okay.
The fights were.
Oh man.
Sure, but the fights are pretty good. And
I think Hiei versus Bui recently, and that was still fire as hell.
Yeah, I watched all of Yu Yu Hakusho last year. It's still great. It still holds up.
You feel like you got a lot of rewatch?
You like either last year or the year before.
You feel like you got a lot of replay value?
I do.
I do personally.
I also think that. I just think that it's just nowhere near Hunter x Hunter.
I mean, they both do, right? Like I love both of these series, but if you're telling me gun to head, like I'm gonna pick Yu Yu Hakusho over Hunter x Hunter, but they're both two of the greatest shonen anime in my opinion.
I agree. I think that Yu Yu is like the peak of the DBZ era, and I think that Hunter x Hunter is the peak of like the power system era.
Facts. I agree with that.
The power system era of anime is way better though. Just like when it moved away from like my number is higher than your number, so I'm stronger. Like DBZ Scouter type shit to being like, more complex interactions between like people's abilities and shit is what I mean by that. Like
what else
JoJo and One Piece.
What you saying, Steve-O?
So JoJo's One Piece and what else?
Well, JoJo kind of started in the 80s, so I don't know if you want to. It was kind of ahead of the time.
I would say JoJo kicked off the power system era with the introduction of stands.
Yeah, but when the stands dropped though, that shit came out in like
the early 90s.
91, I think.
Well, it was still the DBZ era, damn near. So I mean, I guess you're right, but
I mean, like,
so yes, it did kick it off for sure as like the first one.
Just like where you,
one era can melt into another.
That's a fact.
Like you can make a DBZ like
somebody fact check this.
DBZ era in my opinion.
Somebody fact check this. I think Stardust Crusaders started in 88 or 89.
Yeah, I thought that's what I was thinking. I'm like, I thought it came out.
No, I know part one is 87. I'm pretty sure. I think Phantom Blood is 87. I'm pretty sure I got that one right. But
maybe I should have used the word era.
Like 89, correct.
Category of anime.
Stardust Crusaders was 89 to 92.
Okay.
We just got way too stuck on timelines there.
But yeah, no, I agree. Let me see. No, I was reading something from the comments. My bad.
True.
I totally agree.
In the comments talking about how the Dark Tournament is just a series of mediocre fights, and the amount of story that was in between was actually kind of.
No one in the comments is talking about that. But if you'd like to speak on that, you can in our next topic. Because our next topic kind of dissects Yu a little bit. So I want to know individually what y'all think Yu Yu's best arc, villain, and characters are. I will start with Steve-O.
It's been a while since I've seen it, but based on everything that I can recall from Yu Yu Hakusho, you said best arc, and character?
Correct.
Okay. So best arc, to me, I would probably say Dark Tournament.
Yeah.
But I flip between Dark Tournament and Chapter Black.
At least you flip.
Why do you flip? Why do you flip?
Partly because I enjoyed both of them thoroughly, and they both have a special place in my heart. Okay. But it's also because, like I said earlier, it's been a long time since I've seen it. It's probably been like 10 years.
Okay.
And as for best villain, honestly, I don't know, man, because it's pretty stout to me. But if I had to pick one, I'd probably say Toguro.
Younger Toguro?
Yeah, you talking about the swole nigga?
Yeah, younger Toguro.
Cap.
Yeah.
That's also okay.
And the reason I say Toguro just off the top of my head is because typically that's the character type that I resonate with. Because you know me, I like I see niggas throwing hands with superpowers, and he embodies that. So that's why I say
he embodies throwing hands
with superpowers.
Okay.
I'd say I agree with that.
Fair
Like
enough.
Vega threw away his humanity for power, so it's kind of the embodiment of that. Yeah,
that's a fact. Seeing what's cracking, bro. Welcome back.
Hello, I'm back.
Real quick, just to catch you up, we talked about kind of Togashi's influence. We felt as though his Power Systems was kind of like his claim to fame. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. And then after that, we kind of talked about his best work. Do you think his best work is Yu Yu or Hunter x Hunter?
Hunter, easy.
Easily. Fair enough. And then now, I am asking about Yu Yu Hakusho. What do you think Yu Yu Hakusho's best arc, villain, and character or characters are?
Best arc, I have Dark Tournament.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you like Chapter Blackmore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Best character.
Chapter Sleeper. Ahaha.
Glam, what's cracking, bro? Do you want to end?
See,
I got 2 hours to kill.
I was gonna say once scene is done, you can answer.
Where you get your name from, Glam?
Good shit, Steve-O.
Best character. I mean, my favorite is Yusuke, and then it's a switch between Hiei or Kurama.
Fair enough. Glam, you can answer the same questions I just asked.
Glam,
questions again?
Yes,
hey,
sir.
Nah, what's up, bro? What are
you need me to ask them again?
Yeah,
so
I know best villain,
off,
but I don't remember what the other.
No, before that, we started off talking about Togashi's influence.
Power Systems. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then the second part is best.
I actually think they're about the same.
Equal
or same level. I don't know about equal. I prefer Hakusho, but I'd rate them about the same.
Wow. Do you think they're written the same?
In a similar camp.
I think Hunter x Hunter tries to be more complex but fails.
What?
Speak on that, please.
Wow, that's fucking cap.
I think it's the main culprit of these is say the Ants and Chimera Ant have a lot of shit where you try to make readers care about them, but for me personally, I think it fails to do that. And for most ancillary characters outside of the main group, I don't feel that at all. Even for ones that I think had a lot of potential, like the Phantom Troop, fall flat. Not as hard as other ones, but even for them, for me.
Wow.
Thematics, though, I think he does well on, and plot as well. But
so you feel like he fails in
somewhat, yeah.
In Hunter x Hunter specifically, or in both?
No, I think he does that for Hakusho too. But I think because he has more characters in Hunter x Hunter, it's just more prevalent.
Interesting.
I
have heard that take before, that Hunter x Hunter's characters are not as well.
I mean, he has some fantastic ones.
He spreads out his writing more among characters in Hunter x Hunter. So it's like he doesn't spend as much time developing each one. So it's fair, I guess. I also think the character writing is stronger for the main cast of like Yu Yu Hakusho when it comes to like actual characterization, like how these characters are. But when it comes to putting them in a story and making them do things, Hunter x Hunter far exceeds Yu Yu Hakusho. But when it comes to how this character feels about this moment and like getting into their heads, he really did a good job with that in Yu Yu Hakusho, especially with Yusuke. But yeah.
Fair enough. And then the last question, Glam. Yu Yu Hakusho's best arc, villain, and character or characters.
Best arc is
multiple snooze fest.
That is cap.
The best character for me is Kurama, and the best villain is Toguro, younger Toguro.
Why is so? Where do the Toguro niggas play Sensui or Senshu?
I enjoy his relationship with Genkai way more. I actually don't like as well as me. Bullshit.
I mean,
okay. So am I the only one that thinks Sensui?
Like I said, I think the villains in Hakusho are pretty stout. I think the villains in Hakusho is pretty stout, but I just lean towards Toguro.
I also think Sensui
because
is
he has
better.
better character relationships with like Yusuke and Genkai.
Yeah, Genkai. Even his brother.
Sensui doesn't really have that.
But he's written so much better. He has so much better.
Like I don't know, it's like
I agree.
It's relatability factors. Like
so just
can
I pick your brain a little bit?
Go ahead, him.
Why does that matter?
It matters to me.
Okay.
So like where in a world I can definitely see. I'm not saying you guys are wrong, of course.
No, okay.
In a world where I can definitely see me caring more about seeing a character interact with other characters that I fuck with, so that therefore I fuck with this character. I can see that being a thing for sure. But I don't really give a fuck about that type of shit. I care more about like this character as they stand by themselves. Like if this character never had an interaction with any of the other characters, any of the main cast, anybody else that I fuck with, would I like this character? Like I think the best example for me is Kira, and I know Sin knows I fucking love Kira Yoshikage, but like that nigga, like I develop like the development of Kira, like the writing of Kira, the story that we get from him has almost nothing to do with the main cast. Like it's all him. Like to know who he is, how he acts, how he would react in a situation, how he moves, shit like that, and it not have to directly tie with all of these other people, I think is better. Like so, like that's the type of shit I'm judging it off of. Like, would I fuck with this character if he never had to talk to any of these people?
Let me ask you a question for Hunter x Hunter then. Would you like Meruem then if you're judging it by that criteria? Because I don't think Meruem is as good of a character at all if Komugi isn't there.
But Komugi is not the main cast.
That's I don't mean anybody. I don't mean just main cast. What I'm talking about for Toguro is character interaction in and of itself.
Yeah, right now we're talking about
weaving character dynamic is way more important than just the characterization of the character and what they want and what their goals are.
I agree.
In and of itself. And that's why I think Toguro is better than Sensui. Sensui literally only has himself and Yusuke. And that's it.
Yeah, the Meruem example, I feel like is an example of why I wouldn't judge a character that way, because he completely fails that criteria that you just brought up. But he's way better than any Yu Hakusho villain, in my opinion.
Well, I don't even know. It's like at this point you would have to say this isn't about judging a character because you didn't bring up flaws. You brought up different archetypes of villains.
Yep.
Right. So that just boils down to preference, not more than this character's necessarily written better.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I don't know. It seems like some people are judged. Like, I guess it's like multiple ways to answer this question. You can answer like, who do you like more as a person, or who do you like more like as they're written in the story, or how they interact with the story, etc. So,
I only asked you to clarify because I'm kind of tired of the sentiment that it is. The only characters that I can like are the ones that are fucking quote unquote objectively good written, bro. If you're a fucking raw meathead, I can like you. I don't need anything else. I'm so tired. So tired of that rhetoric sometimes. Because like I'll tell you, Dio and like Dio to me is evil charisma personified. And
he is,
and I love it.
You can love that. Exactly. I was gonna say there's nothing wrong with loving.
He's better written than Kira, but I'll take Dio every single day.
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, G. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. No one, like, at least nobody on this panel, I don't think, ever is telling the motherfucker they can't like somebody more than another. You see what I'm saying?
Well, they be telling me.
If you can clear your timeline, G. But no,
it's a different perspective. Like, going back to your Kira argument, like, for me, like, I've even told you this before. I have a bunch of other JoJo villains above Kira, right?
Exactly.
And that's because those ones where you'll see in the future, but they have more character interactions with other characters, which is what I like, personally, which is why I have them over.
Character interactions are what makes dialogue great. Which is why I think when you're saying, like, Sensui has better dialogue, I don't agree, personally. Otherwise, it's just monologuing.
Now,
which is fine.
I will just can I just add this real quick? I'm not a fan of multiple personalities. That's a personal thing. I want to mention that.
Let's get to it. Somebody cancel this nigga Hemmings.
That was actually one of the things that interests me the most about Sensui. Like the reason why he's my favorite villain from Yu Yu Hakusho is I like the parallels between him and Yusuke. The fact that he used to be a spirit detective, he knows what it was like to be trained as a spirit detective, and he feels jaded. The split personalities, each of them having their own like identities and having their own abilities, that was all interesting to me. Since we opening up the gate to the demon world, I felt like the stakes were there as well. I love Toguro, but it's just like I felt like his motivations weren't as good, in my opinion, compared to Sensui.
I agree. That's also
is it because it's simple in nature?
No,
because
it's just not as compelling in my opinion. But that's me.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I
I love Toguro, but for me, the one that was more compelling was just the relationship between Yusuke and Sensei, and just how Sensei impacted the entire universe as a whole.
Okay, I hear you.
I'll also add that I don't think any villain in like Yu Hakusho are amazing. So like picking one of the others is kind of like those two clearly stand out among the other because the others are just throwaways. But like I don't think any of them compare to like when we talk about top tier villains, they wouldn't even come up in the conversation in my opinion. But,
does anyone else hear that dog whistle?
That's insane. That's in Sensei's mic. I don't know where it's coming from.
That's probably my dog.
is it?
I didn't hear him bark.
It's not barking.
The
No,
dog
it's like,
whistle, as in
it's a dog whistle.
Like
a high-pitched sound.
high-pitched,
Yeah.
metallic-y.
Let me see if it's me. Hold on.
Everybody
No.
mute your mics. Well, maybe we should mute them one at a time.
Is it still
Actually,
happening right now?
It
Mute your
is.
mic and find out.
It's from Sensei's, bro.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, it's you, Sensei.
What the fuck I gotta
Maybe
do?
unplug your mic.
Yeah, it is.
Call IT.
Alright, hold on. Call
Big
IT.
Geek Squad.
Call McFly.
How did I miss? I'm right there. This is no fucking way that happened to me.
What you playing right now?
It's no
Hear me?
boy, too.
Okay.
Y'all hear me now?
Yeah, it's much
Yeah,
better.
you good.
It's gone
Hey,
off.
Joe.
Thank God, my brain can live.
Alright, bet. So who am I on? Who am I on? I got Steve-O. Black.
Yep.
I knew that. I knew his ass was gonna start barking soon. Give me your Yu Yu Hakusho best arc, villain, and character.
I never did get
So-
my favorite character.
Oh, you
Go
did?
ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
My bad, Steve-O. Go ahead.
This is another one that I go back and forth on, but it's between Kurama and Hiei.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Most people kind
It's
of
between that top three of the
running
main
too.
group
Yeah,
most of the time.
that's right. Black.
All right, now it's on me. All right, so
Yes, sir.
favorite arc, coolers. I'm gonna say Dark Tournament, but after Black, I'm not gonna lie. After JB saying what he said, Chapter Black was pretty lit. Like it's reminding me that okay, there was a lot going on. But in that
It was
case,
very
my favorite arc is Dark Tournament. My favorite character is Shisui. So it was like
right back.
villain wise, it's like okay, I get it. Like overall, like I think the most relatable thing was the fact that he was a spirit detective, and it was like okay, like you say, obviously, it's like your who you were in the past, and obviously now you feel some type of way about everything that happened to you and how you're like, you know, basically got screwed over, and so it's like okay, now you won't, you know, you basically out for revenge, you out for blood the whole time. So I get how that was like okay, that it was pretty good to watch overall, and then of course the stakes were pretty high, and then favorite character is Kurama. Like, I thought it was a girl back in the day. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, is this a chick that they playing with? But when he had that transformation and when he went to the White Wolf, that messed with me big time. So I was like, all right, that's pretty cool.
Fair enough. I missed if he had any cap. Did he have any cap?
That depends on what you think Cap is. But considering he said Dark Tournament's best arc, I'm assuming you're gonna say yes. So we can move on.
No, but Mike, we got Mike in this bitch. Let me introduce this nigga. Mike, what's cracking, bro? Unmute yourself.
What's happening, man?
What's on? Appreciate you for pulling up, dog.
Thank you, man. I'm sorry I'm late, man. I got dad duties and shit, but I'm here now.
All right, bet it up. Real quick, we have gone over Togashi's influence.
There's an echo, by the way.
Fuck, should I mute myself
Black's
on this
mic.
again? Let me see.
No, it's Black.
Oh, it's Black?
He's got the stream up too.
You got the stream open?
I hear the echo coming in. All right.
Is it still there?
No,
I bet.
it's not still there. Yeah, it was.
All right, Mike. We talked Togashi's influence. We all came to the agreement that he's best known for his power systems. Do you agree?
Oh yeah, we're just talking about power systems. 100%.
Okay. The next thing we talked about is his best work, Yu or Hunter x Hunter.
So like I said, me and you have talked about this before.
For sure, you can just get you. I'm just doing the catch up, G. We can real quick. You ain't even got to overly explain yourself.
Oh, go ahead, bro.
So you, right?
You
Okay, fair enough. And then lastly, since I guess I'll jump to you since Black is done. You use best arc, villain, and character and/or characters. What you
best
got?
arc, Dark Tournament, best villain, Sensei.
Cap. Oh my God, y'all are capping hard on this fucking app today.
They don't like the fights. That's why.
This nigga.
That is a fact.
Nigga.
That is a fact.
This nigga's a hater. Now, yeah, you said best. You said best arc, best villain, and best character.
Character and/or characters. If you got
also
most.
best trap.
Funny as hell.
I'm gonna go. I guess best character is gonna be a toss up for me for either Hiei or Yusuke.
Okay. And villain.
Oh, villain. Yeah,
since we.
Yeah.
Okay. Facts. Bet Hemmings. Go ahead and get your shit off, dog.
Wait. You said best arc. The best arc in that to me is probably Dark Tournament. I enjoyed that the most. My favorite character is probably Genkai. And
okay.
What was the other one? The best villain, I think, is probably Toguro for me, a younger Toguro. I know, like, I understand the kind of argument with like Sensei. I guess he's kind of more complex, quote unquote, but there's beauty and simplicity. I like that he just like, yo,
there is beauty and simplicity.
I'm trying to punch hard, so
I don't even think Togoro's simple, to be honest.
No, I know, but I would understand why. I understand sometimes where like I'll hear something and absolutely vehemently disagree, but completely understand why someone would say that. So I don't really like trip. I'm like, yeah, like you're falling for all the little red herrings and tricks there. So I understand why you didn't see beyond it. So I don't really trip.
Fair enough.
But
take that. Oh my bad, you got some more?
Oh no, that's really it.
Okay, bad. Take that. Where you at? What you got?
The best arc is Chapter Black, but I will give an honorable mention to the Three Kings arc just because I think that if Togashi had finished it,
you think Three Kings better than Dark Tournament?
It had all the pieces there to easily surpass every arc before it. It's just that Togashi ended it before he could. He just made another tournament as opposed to the war that he was building towards, and I think it would have been brilliant. So I just wanted to give it an honorable mention.
Ask a question real quick. My fault. I cut you off. Since we had a form where like his power was like a gun arm, right? Am I remember that correctly?
That was when he had the. What
the fuck was up with that? Is he a cyborg, or is it only in that personality does he get the fucking gun arm? I don't remember.
That personality had it. I think it was that personality was like a mob boss or some shit like that. Like, yeah,
that shit was weird as hell. Yeah. I said, wait, now his arm a gun?
He was a weird
nigga.
Sorry, and then who you got as best character? I got.
I don't know. That's a toss up between. It's probably you.
Wait, did you give villain?
My villain would be Sensei, and I agreed that I don't think Sensei is just like way more complex than Toguro. I would say neither one is way more complex than the other. I just think that Sensei's motivations and shit are way more interesting. So I just lean towards him more.
Fair enough.
Didn't he watch a movie and then start tweaking? I don't know if that's
like it's not that deep.
I don't know if it's
like he saw the atrocities of humanity and was like, these niggas need to die on some Ultron shit.
Nigga watched a movie and started tweaking. I can't.
On VHS too.
Yeah. On VHS.
And he didn't even finish the movie. Like it was 2. The nigga stopped halfway through and was like, I gotta kill everybody.
And the ending was probably uplifting.
Funny as
hell.
There was a Chapter White.
Chapter White is next. You didn't check this back of the box.
Y'all fucking fuck.
That's the equivalent of like dropping Hunter x Hunter before you get to York New. He wanted them.
Hilarious.
But well, I don't know. It's probably Yusuke, but my runner-up will be Hiei. But it's probably Yusuke.
Fair enough. JB, I think you last to go because I know Dritz hasn't seen it all.
Boom.
Yeah. The best arc, in my opinion, is the Dark Tournament. I feel like the Dark Tournament's amazing. I love the fights. I love watching Yusuke push past his limits to get to the W. I love that arc. Best villain, I already talked about it. Sensei for sure. Love that character. And the best characters in the entire series to me would be Hiei, Yusuke, and Sensei.
Fair enough. Good shit. Time to go flip side and talk Hunter x Hunter. Same question, just with Hunter x Hunter. And this time I will start with Lord Dritzenor.
Oh,
because he has seen this one.
Yeah,
I have. So what? Best arc, best villain, best character.
Correct.
Best arc. If Yorknew had ended well, I would have said Yorknew, but I will say Chimera Ant.
What was wrong with it?
It's
just that you didn't. Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's already capped.
Can we talk about it?
I think, for me, I think Yorknew has
multiple
multiple failings when it comes to ending the tension within the arc, as well from a character motivation.
I've heard that take before.
I think one of the failings within Yorknew is that I think Togashi is incredibly lazy for having Kurapika's backstory not in the canon material and not doing in the arc that's supposed to be relevant for his character. That's just lazy writing, as far as I'm concerned. 2, he forgot about Melody. And Melody just kind of fades into the background. Even though Melody's kind of a cool character. And the rest of like those random, like the Pompadour guy from Yu Hakusho, that feels like he should be from Yu Hakusho. Those characters essentially go nowhere. They've come back into the boat arc, but there's no real exciting conclusion to the arc. And it kind of ends off on a...
forgot about Melody.
It ends up with her motivations.
Oh, you mean like her goal in life or whatever?
Yeah. Basically, she went there because she was trying to find that, and then like she just disappears.
And then the item never showed up.
She was there when
and it never showed up, and like yeah, but like she was like, I'm talking about the motivations from that arc. Like it never played a factor in like the conclusion. She just kind of like disappears, helps Kurapika, and then fucks off.
When you introduce a character and their motivations, are you required to complete that story arc in that?
Well, you would at least want a mention of them before the arc concludes. Because otherwise, it's like if you include that character in the arc for like the purpose that you state in the arc that character's there for, and then the arc ends without any mention.
What they were introduced for? I feel like Melody was introduced just to be like a companion to Kurapika, not to like
that's
Melody of depth.
That's the relationship, not the purpose of the character, though. Like the character's driving motivation is to get whatever that item she was going to get to reverse her condition. The benefit was that she had a good relationship with Kurapika, which is the benefit of the character, but there's no resolution.
She was just there. She wouldn't have had added stuff.
That's actually true.
I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that incompletion of characters take, but I have heard the not an exciting end.
Well, part of it could be intentional because one of the great things that Togashi is better than most people at is building tension. And Yorknew does an absolutely incredible job at building tension throughout the entirety of the arc. And it leads towards the end, and it kind of just drops off with like a wah, wah.
It was literally a wah, wah.
What's wrong with that, though?
And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but
you don't
when you include the failed character motivations for Kurapika, I feel like if you need to flesh him out more in the arc, since that's what he's kind of there for. All those other members, and it kind of ends off on the Crollo Hisoka, and then they all leave. I'm like, I feel like that could have been written better with the characters.
What do you mean by that?
Outside of that, I would have to say that Chimera Ant for me.
So wait, before you say that, Drizzt, how would you have wanted Yorknew to end?
How would I would have wanted? I mean, it depends on what Togashi had planned.
Well, how do you think?
I would have at least wanted a better conclusion with Kurapika's motivations as well as Melody.
So you feel like
the Crollo Hisoka stuff is fine, but like the kind of meme at the end where Crollo and Hisoka are gonna fight, but then Crollo doesn't have his Nen. That's fine. I don't really mind that.
But
so what's wrong
conclusion?
With
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Because he came away from the arc saying, "I need to collect all the eyes of my family."
Yeah, that's it. But you don't understand outside of him just saying the Uchiha clan was killed. You don't really relate to it on a personal level because Togashi doesn't take the time to actually make you care. All you have is like the statement that he's mad.
They all died.
You understand that, and they're dead.
Drizzt is basically saying we need volume 0.
We need volume 0. Whatever. I've never read volume 0, but whatever volume 0 is, if it's good and it helps flesh out Kurapika's character more with like his childhood friend or whatever it is, like the head that's in the jar within the series, that would be great. That would help the arc out a lot, especially heading into where the arc is right now.
And especially because Kurapika actually mentioned his name as well.
Yeah,
but we don't know who that is. So it's like, what's the point?
So yeah, I mean, I still love Yorknew because Yorknew is still probably my second favorite arc in the series, but due to those, I feel like there's a better resolution. The middle part of the arc's a bit meh, but for Chimera Ant, I feel like it's stronger at its heights than York New is.
Okay. So you got Chimera Ant as the best arc.
Yeah, for me at least. If there wasn't as much bullshit in the the election arc, that actually might be my favorite arc.
What bullshit?
He's talking about Kilo and Alika.
Kilo and Alika.
Fair enough.
If that was handled better with Kilo's family, then that would probably actually be my favorite arc.
I appreciate that because a lot of people hate on the fucking election. I think is brilliant.
Yeah, the election's great. It's just there are some weird things with the elections I won't get into now. But best villain, Meruem.
Facts.
Although I would say that I would like Hisoka more if Hisoka had a bigger like what we're going to right now in like the boat arc. If this had an amazing conclusion with Hisoka's quote unquote villainy, then I might have him. But as of right now, Meruem's much more compelling to me as a character.
Okay.
And then character overall, Killua.
Actually, but
you said what I got?
I don't consider Hisoka a villain personally.
That's why he said quote unquote villainy.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Like it's set up that he's like not a good guy, but he's not like
he's like
a standalone villain. Yeah. Well, he does what he wants to do, which is what a lot of villains do.
Neutral, but
yeah,
you know.
But overall character, I would choose Killua.
Okay, fair enough. I agree with the Killua. Let's see who I want to call on next. Stebo.
Yeah.
Same question, but for Hunter x Hunter, dog.
All right. So my favorite arc, I'm gonna say Chimera Ant, just because I think that the beauty of it stands out among the rest. Even though I pretty much like every single arc in Hunter x Hunter, I don't think there's a single one that I dislike.
Okay.
And, I think Togashi's ability to write the story is amazing, but it really shows his head in the Chimera Ant arc. So that's the reason why I say that's my favorite.
Fair enough.
Best villain, I'm gonna actually say the best villain is the best character. And I know this might be a hot take because some people absolutely hated this character.
Please don't say that bomb nigga from Greed Island.
No.
Hilarious.
Absolutely not.
I'm pissed I can't remember his name right
now. Genthru.
Nobody
likes Genthru, bro.
Fuck out of here.
Nobody likes Genthru, bro.
That nigga sucks.
I wouldn't say Genthru sucks, but he's not there for me. Like
he sucks, nigga. No, but go ahead. Go ahead. Who you got?
For somebody else. I'm going to say Shia.
Hey, I'm with you, G. What's up? I don't think he's the best villain or character, but I love that pick. I love that pick. I love that pick, nigga.
I disagree, but I respect your
opinion. You're killing me, Steve-O.
And the reason why is because everything that people usually say that they hate or they found annoying or cringe with Shia, I absolutely loved it. I loved every second of him. Like, no, Tommy. Yes,
well, they lost me.
Was going crazy.
I loved it.
Dude, that was going crazy.
That's not why I think he's brilliant, but
I
guess I don't actually remember
with those moments, but I think it's deeper than that.
Talking about Poof, the Royal Guard.
Poof. That's just one part of it. But I love the way that he represents that side of Meruem's struggle within himself.
Yes, sir.
Like the way Togashi did that visually, textually, like all that was beautiful.
You just lied when you said visually, but all right.
Funny as hell.
No, man.
He's spitting. Is a really good pick, man.
No, you spitting, G. I fuck with that, G. He's not my favorite villain, but I fuck with that pick.
I don't even know if textually is a word, but y'all know what I was saying.
Contextually? Was it contextually?
No, I just said textually.
Wait, Steve, I have a question.
I don't know if there's a word.
Steve, I have a question.
Yo, what's up?
So, what were your favorites? Why do you think that makes him the best character? Like, do you think he's is it your favorite, or you think he's an actual better character than, say, like Meruem?
I definitely think he's the best Royal Guard. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I would say because I think that I feel like it was represented the best throughout the story. In that arc where the stakes, like everything, were at their peak, Shia represents since he's the villain of the arc, essentially, he represents the worst of those themes that are presented in that arc.
Yeah.
So that's why I say he's the best character.
Yeah, I respect that.
I hella respect that, Jay. Did you have something else, Dritz, before I move on to
no, you're good.
Jay Bizzle.
Yeah, for me, the best arc is going to be the Chimera Ant arc. I mean, one thing that I loved about that arc the most is how long it was. I actually felt like I was experiencing these ants take over an entire country, which is what they were doing. I should feel those stakes, watching those fields and literally these villages of people being completely wiped out. And then our heroes training and finding out that they don't have enough time. They might not have enough time to stop the villains. So I really, really like that aspect of it. I love Gun's power-ups. I love Killua's power-ups. Killua is the lightning god to me. I loved him in that arc. Gun's rage moment was absolutely amazing. My favorite villain has to be Miruum. He is amazing. I love his philosophy, just his outlook on the meaning of life in general, and just him playing shoji with that little girl, like just trying to figure out like what it all means, right? Like why he exists, why do humans exist, and why he should rule over everyone. And the best character in Hunter x Hunter to me is Killua. I love Killua. He has one of the coldest moments in anime to me during the Hunter exam when they're fighting against the prisoners, and he just walks up to the guy, rips his heart out, and then just shows it to him. That was one of the coldest shits I've ever seen, dude.
That's a fact. That is a fact. I agree with you, sir. I agree with you 1,000,000% on all of yours.
Respect, real quick, respect.
Go ahead, Black.
I'm not gonna lie, y'all arcs is pretty solid for Chimera Ant being one of the greater arcs. I'm not gonna even lie on that. Like I'm listening to y'all, and I'm like,
disagree?
Oh, I like York New, but I'm gonna wait till my turn. But I'm just saying, y'all make
get your shit off. No, get your shit off. You talking now?
I'm in my turn.
No, get your shit. No, it's your turn, Black.
Okay. It's
all right. Get your shit off.
I like York New, but I like York New because York New just brought out a whole bunch of hella moments. Like I'll never forget when fucking Hisoka literally was like, "All right, y'all ain't ready for this stage yet." They made the boys reset everything they had to do. It's like, damn, we not. We got it to what level in this place, and we not ready yet.
Talking about Heaven's Arena.
Talking about Heaven's Arena.
Yeah.
So not York New.
Yes.
Black, you good?
Did I get him backwards? Oh.
Yeah, I think you might have. You talking about Heaven's Arena?
That's on me.
The arc where they introduced.
I got the arc switch. Yes.
Arc when they introduced Nin.
All right. So your favorites then, or do you think the best is the Heaven's Arena then, not York New?
Right. That's
Cap.
Okay.
Cap, sir.
Indeed.
But keep going.
As I said again, but y'all are making one hell of a point for Chimera arc. That's
why man. You should be making that point too.
I respect it. There was a lot of help, like a lot of moments, like when they had to go through the gate and the Chimera arc and time slowed down. Like that shit, I'm not gonna lie. I remember watching that and was like, oh, shit, really about to get real at any second. Like this is pretty dope. And of course, favorite villain is Miruum. Like he was just so badass. It made absolutely no sense. But the fact that they did have a villain literally sit down and play chess with a girl, like he was like, you know what? I ain't gonna kill the world yet. I'm gonna play chess. And literally he put his revenge, his whole thing. He put that shit on pause to play chess. Like, you that badass, my dude? Like you literally just go put everything on hold and go play chess? It's like, damn, you was really about to fuck some shit up. But this little girl put you into your feelings. But it's cool. And of course, favorite character is Killua. And I mean that's for obvious reasons. But fair enough. My bad, I got the arc fucked up.
You good, bro? You good? You good? It's a little cap in your rap. It's all good. Mike, what's cracking, dog?
A little cap in your rap.
I'm here. What's good?
Come on, give me your Hunter best arc, villain, and character and/or characters. What's up?
Yeah, basically, I mirror what everybody else has pretty much said. So, York New is definitely the best arc.
I don't think anyone said that.
I thought I could have sworn I heard somebody say York New, but maybe I'm.
You also said everybody.
You said that, bro. So you said York New's best. Okay, I got you. I ain't mad at you.
My bad. Yeah. So I got York New as being the best. I got Killua as the best character, and I got Miruum being the best villain.
Okay. Fair enough. We got two newcomers. I don't know who these niggas are. Glam, can you help me out?
Escape and Eric.
Escape.
Eric's not
Escape
gonna
and
talk.
Escape and Eric.
Eric.
Which one is invalid?
It's Eric.
That's Eric.
Eric, you are what's cracking, gang? You trying to join in the conversation?
He's never read it.
He's never read it.
Well, continue to enjoy the pod, brother. Hemmings.
Yo.
Hemmings, talk to me, dog.
All right, here we go. So, I'll answer the question first. My favorite character is probably Illuminati. No.
Nigga, what?
Illumi. That's what he meant.
Lumi?
I'm gonna go with what's his name? Morel, sorry, no. But then probably Illuminati. I like Morel. He's my favorite character.
The Nick wait. Morel the smoker, right?
Yeah, Morel.
Okay.
He has my favorite.
I was thinking
he
the
has
nigga.
my favorite moment when he took out all the like oxygen, so the lion guy died like carbon dioxide poisoning, whatever it was. I like that's my favorite moment in the series. So he's probably my favorite character. My favorite arc, or the arc I like the most, because I don't really care for any of them, is probably the election. Because I think Parkinson is just legitimately funny. That's some shit I would do. And I win and just quit. So I fuck with him. And he's I'm not gonna call him a villain, but he's my favorite antagonist too. So I'll probably tie them together. Now, the reason why I said here we go is I absolutely can't stand the Chimera Ant arc. I don't like it at all. I can't. And my biggest problem with it, so we're gonna hop into this, is it's not even necessarily the arc itself. I absolutely do not like how it's presented to me. How you tell the story is half the story. Because if I'm a comedian and I'm doing stand-up, and I have a legit, let's just say for some reason, let's just say the joke is actually funny, but I can't tell it right, will people laugh?
No.
Okay.
No.
Is this a literal light novel, or is this a manga, aka a graphic novel, art and literature? Why is he fucking killing me with this text, bro? Why is the narrator?
Oh, you read it? You read it?
Everything that's happening.
If you read it, only
even in the anime.
Nah, in the anime, bro, it's definitely
is like
bearable,
falling
bro.
from the sky, and the thing, I'm like, bro, this slow motion shit with the narrator just talking,
bearable.
Is not hitting,
bro. That's
I don't like it.
I actually agree with
that's
that.
cap.
I think that Togashi's over reliance on narration is part. Sometimes it helps, but it can sometimes come as being very lazy.
I agree as well.
It's
situational.
Hold on. Because the thing about me personally speaking is I'm a huge if I'm watching a movie or show, or I'm reading a comic book, a graphic novel, a webtoon, whatever the case is, I'm not trying to get bored to death with text. If it's a book, my mindset is completely different. But first of all, I don't even like how he draws. His art's not good to me personally, right? So I'm not a fan of his artwork. But I'm I think the reason why he started doing this more and more is not even just because he doesn't want to draw. I think because fans really, really react to the writing positively. And I have the opposite opinion, where I think he's mediocre at best at writing, because he takes a really long time to say something so simple to me. He will take an entire page to tell me that nigga is sneaky, and I'm like, why? Why did it take so long? And I don't it's
this
just
nigga Naya,
right? And to give the opposite example of something that I think does a really good job of show and tell is Samurai Jack. You could watch an entire episode of Samurai Jack, and he doesn't say a goddamn word, but you know what he's feeling, what he's thinking, what his goals and motivations are, and they're not boring you to death with here's Jack walking in the snow. He's being
but if
really,
Jack
really,
had
really
a
low to the
manga,
ground.
how the fuck do you think that shit would be written, bro?
Say that again?
If Samurai Jack had a manga, do you think it would be written with just facial expressions?
You can do that.
No, there's tons of manga. There's tons of manga and comic books that I read that have that
do that.
Have stretches and moments of
Kojiro.
chapters where you could basically tell the entire audience what's going on without having to kill me with text. I'm gonna take my favorite issue of East or West. I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's an attack that happens, and for the most of the chapter, or even read the whole chapter, I'm gonna look at it right just now. No one's talking. But just by facial expressions, the context of the situation, everything, you absolutely understand. You don't need any dialogue. Now, I'm not saying Togashi don't write nothing.
Yes, it
I'm
is.
just
Yes, it
saying,
is.
Jesus Christ, scale it back. Son, what the fuck is going on? I'll stop there for now.
I really want to hear God's take on what the fuck Hemmings had to say.
I don't even know if he has his computer.
Cap. I got a lot to say.
What's up, nigga? What's up? That's why we here.
I'll try to address everything that I thought while these niggas were talking while answering the question. The best arc is Chimera Ant arc. It's not close. It's a 20 out of 10 anime arc. The only thing that stands up to it is the Golden Age arc of Berserk.
20 out of 10.
Listen, this Cap. Wow. Takes a capper to no one. That's crazy, bro. Who would have thought?
Respect for the
20 out of 10.
I guess we're fighting my Cap with hyperbole, I guess.
Come on, G. Get this shit off.
I don't even know where to start here. Well, something like two things I love in a story are one, multiple sides, more than two, and two, like cause and effect. Like when people play with cause and effect in a way that's completely logical, and I feel like that's something that Togashi excels at, and I feel like he demonstrated that with Yorknu and just like blew it up to like 1,000 on the Chimera Ant arc. Like this man is literally like doing character development for an entire species. This shit is incredible. I want to quickly like segment to the narrator talk because like I agree that there may be a few times where the narrator was saying something that maybe he didn't need to, but like the level of complexity that's happening between these multiple sides, it's like literally no one, like there's no other way to express some of these things than with a narrator just because no one else is God and can see all these things. Like one of the best examples is when Nov, the portal guy, needed to go into the palace to lay down the portals for the invasion. Now, obviously, most of the time, Pito has her in over the whole palace. So if he walked in, he would instantly get detected. But he's like going for it anyway. There's only like a few like other guard ants in the palace. We only know this because the narrator told us. Like, Pito happened to not have her end up because Meruem ripped his arm off, like on some prideful shit, and Pito had to turn her end off just to heal him. And, like, Nov happens to be trying to invade at this exact moment. And, like, he doesn't realize that this is the best and only chance he has to do this, and we also only know it because the narrator told us. And there's several moments like that where only the narrator can, like, express the weight of what's happening in a given moment during that arc. Man, I could get into my Chimera arc back for a long time, but I won't. But that's also a really good example of just him like playing with cause and effect of things that aren't even like remotely related. Like it's just like the level of like coincidences coming together perfectly, and like how changing one single thing in this entire arc would completely change how the entire thing played out is insane. Like when you think about it, like if Nov didn't get taken out the game, they probably could have like defeated Meruem instantly just by using perfect plan from the chameleon nigga with the portal, like instantly decapitate this nigga is over. But because he got taken out by Pito's end, which when I think about it lately, I'm like, he damn near did that on purpose because this nigga is too powerful for the arc. But just like changing small things will like reverberate throughout the whole arc, and it's like insane just going through thought exercises thinking about how that shit would play out in other ways. Anyway,
villain.
The best villain. I don't know. After he said poof.
Now you thinking poof? Poof is a good one, G.
I don't even know. I was gonna try to think of it on the spot, but poof is so good, man. Like the fact that Poof thinks that he's like the most loyal guard, but he's damn near like a betrayer.
Exactly. It's
like
crazy.
He's not serving Meruem, he's serving what he wants Meruem to be. Like, man, that is really good writing. I'm damn near leaning towards Poof now instead of Meruem. That's crazy. I don't know. That's hard.
I want to change my favorite character, by the way.
To who, nigga?
To the narrator.
Hilarious.
I agree.
I'm gonna assume that's because of my example.
You funny as fuck. And then best character, who you got, G?
Best character from like when I say best character, I think about best written character.
Okay.
Best written character, in my opinion. Man, that's hard. That's damn near. I don't know. That's hard. For me, it's probably between. I don't know. It's between Meru and Poof and maybe Gon. Just
Gon? You think Gon's written better than Killua?
Just because of the way that, like, he uses Gon. Well, I don't know. You kind of have to use Gon and Killua together for what I mean. Like, one of my favorite moments in the entire series is when Kai gets his arm chopped off and, like, Gon tries to do a typical shonen power-up.
Tries to go Superman, Super Saiyan.
And Killua like, no, nigga, this is not fucking, like, Naruto. You're not gonna go 9 tails and win. You're gonna fucking die. So he knocked his ass out. Like, that shit was beautiful. But that's also a Killua moment, so. But just the way he uses Gon to, like, shit on or, like, subvert the expectations that you have as a typical shonen anime watcher is, like, really good. But I don't know. I'm conflicted. I remember I was conflicted.
I remember I was conflicted. Stupid ass. Come on, man. Give me one. Just give me one.
I'll just go with my favorite character, which is Harrison, because he's a goat troll.
Harrison? Fair enough. Fair enough. I figured you was going to say him.
On the topic of Harrison, he damn near can be considered a villain just because they briefly mentioned during the Chimera arc that he was actively blocking them getting, like, the hunters they needed to really get that shit done.
Oh, he's definitely a villain.
Funny as hell. He a op. I hella don't remember that. He a op. What the
like
fuck,
when
nigga?
Moral and Nob were, like, in a room talking about, like,
that was the whole build up for that arc.
Fucking VP
just that
is,
one
like,
conversation,
blocking this nigga from, like, letting us get the fucking people we need, which probably could have prevented, like, niggas from having to kill themselves and blow shit
It's
up.
crazy because that's why Netero love him so much.
Indeed, Netero tweaked, but
Netero was tweaking.
Good shit. I appreciate you, Take God. Glam, did I hear from you?
Nope.
Glamoring. Talk to us.
Favorite arc, I'm probably gonna say I've flip flopped on it a lot. Every time I think about Hunter x Hunter, but I think I'm gonna stick with Old Faithful on this one and say Election is my favorite.
Election, okay.
Yeah,
why?
I enjoy
why is Election your? Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
The inner political nature, at least for that one scenario that the Hunter Association was going through, fascinated me to no end. Because that was the one thing from the beginning of the series that I felt was sorely lacking, was more insight into what hunters were and how they operated outside of just the main group. Okay. Up until Chimera, you really didn't see that. Now, York knew a little bit too, but those characters so ancillary to Kurapika, it's not the same. And then seeing how the specific people that Netero put in place to set this whole thing up, and also actually finally getting Gene. Even though I'm not a big fan of Gene, actually getting to see him finally was good for Gon and also the Oreo, consequently. Mm-hmm. And also, even though the whole Killua Alaka stuff has problems, mainly because of Alaka just existing, the relationships that go between her and Killua, and also consequently Killua and Gon, is incredible.
What's amazing?
The relationship between Killua.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
Alaka,
yeah. Like Killua and Alaka, like that's her. The interaction. They end when he finally recognizes Nanika as also his sister figure as well. With her is one of only 2 moments on her that's made me emotional. Favorite
What's
character?
The other one?
Oh, Meruem and Kamugi dying. Easy.
Of course. Yes, easy one.
Favorite villains, Meruem. Easy. I don't even need to say anything on that. Favorite character is Hisoka.
Ooh, I was waiting for one of them. There's your boy. Fair enough. I know I heard from Sin. Did I hear from Sin? Sin, did you get your shit off? No.
Listen, I may not have.
Sin.
I may not have.
Actually, hold on. Before
I'm enjoying the slander.
You funny as hell. Sin, before I get to you, I want to address my nigga Stebo because he just pulled up.
Yep.
I mean, not Stebo. Steve. Scuba Steve. I'm drunk. I'm drunk. I've had a whole fifth of fucking, what is this shit? Avion. So I'm pretty
Please
drunk.
stop.
Hey, I'm nowhere near as bad as JDG. I cannot wait till this stream is over. I'm finna air JD ass out because his ass is wild. Scuba Steve, what's cracking, bro? Thanks for pulling up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I know you've been in the comments, so I don't really have to recap most of what's been going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'll kind of ask you just this question. So what do you got as Hunter x Hunter's favorite best arc character and villain?
Best arc is Chimera Ant.
Facts.
Best villain is Miriam. Best character is Killua, even though my favorite nin ability is God's Promise. Melioron. That's my favorite nin ability. So that kind of made me like Melioron, but as a character, you know how that goes. But
I always prefer God's Apostle as a name for that ability.
Yeah, funny as hell.
But yeah,
God's accomplice.
I had to get in on this conversation. I was in the comments and I was like, man, let me get in here.
You and Knox was supposed to pull up, but I guess Knox couldn't pull up. He's too busy having an argument with Merc the mayor.
Hilarious.
Merc be bullshitting.
Merc does be bullshitting. Like all his shit is capped. But Sin, now go ahead and get your shit off, dog.
Favorite character, Killua. Favorite villain is Miriam. But I am a Crollo stan. I will say that.
Fair enough.
Ew.
And then he's Togashi, so there you go. And then favorite arc, Chimera Ant. But I will say I want to give a shout out to the Succession War. I think that's the potential to be the best arc easily.
Okay.
The way that depending on how it ends.
Yeah, I feel that.
How it ends.
Damn, Fafa.
Yo, it's not. Don't do this.
Insert generic joke.
Insert Dragon Quest PNG on the screen right now.
Damn. I don't think I forgot anybody, right? I think I got everybody, right?
Yeah, you got everybody.
I'll wait for however long it takes.
Okay, so I want to ask this question. I want y'all to compare the best of both. How do the best of both compare? It seemed like we had a consensus mostly of Chimera Ants, some election war. Chase, relax, G. Some election wars for
One
arcs.
York New.
Exactly, and one York New for arcs. How does that compare to, if we go on arcs, to the abundance of dark tournaments and a couple chapter blacks?
Hunter x Hunter is better.
Undoubtedly.
There's not even really much to compare on that. Like Hunter x Hunter just has better.
I mean, there's a couple people here who feel the otherwise, feel opposite. So I want to know. But y'all talk about it while I walk away and subdue my dog.
How about subdue? What the fuck does that mean?
Yo, what?
This nigga Joe Budden.
Oh no.
So what's y'all? Who had Dark Tournament and shit? As better. Oh, Mike is in
Tweaking
there.
ass niggas.
Mike.
Glam had it tied.
This is a hard
most
question for me
most
to
people
to
said
answer
Dark
because I
Tournament.
literally
think
don't
they
give
got
a fuck about
one
either.
or two chapter blacks.
I think peak Hunter x Hunter is like way better than peak Yu Hakusho. I don't think it's close.
It's not close. I think mid Hunter x Hunter is better than peak Yu Hakusho, but that's me.
Yeah.
What's mid Hunter x Hunter?
How disrespectful is it?
Mid Hunter x
No,
Hunter.
Mike is in here. You gotta hear Mike preach for you real quick.
Mid Hunter x Hunter would probably be like Greed Island, which
No. Okay, let's relax. Dark Tournament is better than Greed
better
Island.
than every arc of Yu Hakusho.
No, let's relax. Let's relax.
That's my opinion.
And it's wrong. No.
Read out like the arc where they play dodgeball.
Yep.
Yes.
That dodgeball game is better than
I like that.
Fight
I actually like that game. I think it's pretty cool.
Oh, that dodgeball.
Yeah, but that makes up like 3 episodes of the arc.
Yeah,
Oh,
and like a Yu Yu Hakusho.
Can I actually? Do you guys mind if I ask me something? Can I ask you guys something real quick? Just out of curiosity, did you guys mostly get into the to Hunter x Hunter through the 2011 anime?
Yep.
Yes.
Has anybody like been reading it for like a decade, like I have, or no?
No,
I have.
Whenever I got
well, it's
Hunter
been a
x Hunter,
decade.
Well, actually, I'm close.
Yeah, I was just about to say the anime been out for a decade now.
So.
Oh shit, that's true. Fuck, I forgot how old I am. Sometimes. Sorry, I'm old. That's me. But
actually, next year will be 10 years.
The reason that I asked that was because I actually went through every hiatus for the most part. So like I got fed up way early before most people.
Yeah, that's.
I was dealing.
My condolences.
Yeah, so
we living through a little berserk
definitely.
right now, and it's oh man.
Because I feel like most people's experience were better than mine because they got to go through the 2011 anime, and I had to go through. Okay, like he's gone for like a year and half a year, and then he's back, and this and that, and the third, and
I've been reading it as long as you have, Nye, but my first experience with it is actually reading the manga, and
same.
I actually
And
dropped
watching the old
Hunter reading the manga in the middle of the Chimera Ant arc because I thought the shit was ass. I was also at that point in time I was incredibly furious with Togashi for giving me chicken scratch.
Yeah, that too.
I felt like it was an insult whenever he was drawing better things earlier, and I was like, dude, fuck this guy, and I just dropped the series.
Dang.
Yeah, the beginning of the Chimerian arc.
I'm with you on that.
Has to be the worst shit ever because like you don't get to the reason why these niggas matter. It's just all these new ass ants. Why are they here? I'll find out in 2 months. Like, nah, that ain't it.
That's a fact. Yeah, did we come to while I was subduing my dog? Did we come to a consensus on comparison?
I actually asked the question. My bad. I totally derailed, but I want you to answer it too. Did you get into Hunter x Hunter through the 2011 anime as well?
Yes.
Okay, so
I did not know Hunter x Hunter exists.
I think me and Dritz were the only people who actually were like reading it from like because I pretty much experienced every hiatus.
Oh yeah, no.
So my experience was a lot different than the average Hunter person. So I just wanted to point that out. I forgot to preface with that.
Okay, fair enough.
Because one thing about me, I'll just say this real quick. I will never get mad at the work itself based on like my experience, but I think experience matters. Like I would argue that like Kateku Shapeman Reborn, it's nothing crazy, but like I read that with like-minded individuals. I had a blast reading it to the point like me and my friends had all kinds of inside jokes in school. Like I'll be walking in the hallway, my nigga was running to a wall, and I started dying of laughter because he's doing the Yamamoto face plant from the Genkishi fight or Genshiki fight, right? Like we had shit like that. Like my experience with Hunter was horrible.
Okay,
so
fair enough.
But that being said, I don't let that devalue the piece of work itself. I just don't like when people act like it doesn't matter. If you like something and the fan base is full of dickheads, your experience with it's not gonna be good, and I think it matters. I hate people act like they're all some unfeeling robot and they just don't feel nothing anyone else says. So, yeah.
So since we didn't attack it, can we attack it now?
What was the question again?
Yeah, how can we compare the
comparing
two?
the best to the two? Well, exactly. I don't even know what's the best of Hunter x Hunter and what's the best of Yu.
Consensus right now is Dark Tournament versus Chimera Ant.
Consensus is Dark Tournament
versus Chimera.
The best of Yu
Dark
to
Tournament
me is the beginning of the Three Kings arc, because I think he was starting to get into his Hunter x Hunter bag as far as storytelling goes, but it just didn't pan out. So I guess if you don't count that, I would go with Captain Black, which isn't even better than Greed Island in my opinion. So
that's tough. Others?
Well, I know most more than the average. I know like most niggas training arc and niggas sleep on it, but
I know most niggas said Dark Tournament and most niggas said Chimera. So can most niggas give me their comparison of those two?
I don't think it's close. I think Chimera Ant is way better.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, Chimera Ant takes the win, even though overall as a series, I prefer Yu Hakusho.
I'll take Dark Tournament in 4.
Same.
What? Glam? Get the fuck out of here.
I don't give a fuck about these dumbass ants, bro.
Yo, Glam is a fraud.
Glam is wild, bro.
I'll just say this.
At least say it's 7, my guy.
Yeah,
this guy is
the real answer is Dark Tournament in 6, but
Glam,
I just want to
Glam. Take God asks, can you explain what you say? Take God.
What? Somebody explain to me the greatness of Dark Tournament. Like, why is it so great?
Listen,
and don't tell me about influence. Tell me about its qualities as standalone.
Have you heard the Yu Hakusho opening?
You are hilarious. That is the good opening.
Got a point.
But it existed long before Dark Tournament did.
Let me just say this quick because I don't really have much to add to the conversation because again I don't give a fuck about either series. But if you ask me, like which one would you like want to read like whatever first like rest of your life, I would take Dark Tournament over Chimera. I don't like that arc. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it in the anime. I didn't enjoy it in the manga. I did not like it. I didn't have a good time. There was moments for sure, but as a collective as a whole, I did not enjoy myself with that arc at all. I never want to see that shit again. I can't even stand Miro. I don't like that.
Okay, so you said all that earlier. Let's you go here.
I didn't hear what you said.
No. So, regardless of what Naya said, what is the bet? Like, what is so good? Like,
I like Toguro versus Yusuke. I'll start there. That to me, like, I think that's a really like classic fight. I like it a lot.
I like every fight in there except for the second round. The second round with the doctor.
I like the Darkness Flame of what's it called? The Dragon Flame of Darkness.
That shit was the reason why the fights are good is because what goes into the character shit behind it. Now, not necessarily the hands, which is what a lot of people say is not very interesting. But I disagree.
If we're talking hands, then Chimera Ant's not much to talk about.
There we go.
Yeah,
that's also facts.
They don't fight Hunter x Hunter. They just tell you.
Like even like the
happening.
basic shit, like Kurama fighting that dude who could turn his fingers into a sword. Like
really,
there was some high stakes.
Corolla versus Ahsoka. That's not a fight. Just narrating and bobbing.
Netero had 100 hands. What do you mean? It's no.
So they have multiple hands.
He did have 100 hands.
Just because he had 100 hands, Steve, didn't mean he knew how to use them very well.
He threw them bitches too, though, G. He threw them bitches too, though, G.
I feel like most of Chimera Ant fights were more so like back heavy. Like in the top half of Chimera Ant was more so story, but there were more fights in the end of Chimera Ant arc.
I'm not sure that's true.
I think it was a lot of decent fights.
There was a lot I
Let me get into the real reason is
the
that
Phantom Troop defending their home, which was also in the first half.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, you do get the troop versus the Ant.
No, it's filler.
It's very similar to JoJo.
Chris, you said that was filler? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I really like at that point in time. I was like, why do I care?
Yes, exactly.
Don't you care about their motivations and want to see how they pan out in the story?
With the Phantom Troop,
those guys.
I guess you just pick and choose.
I mean, like I didn't mind that, but I mean, I'm not necessarily a big fan of fights in Hunter x Hunter to begin with.
Why?
I don't think they're very engaging.
They're not fights.
Like theoretically, there's a lot that can go into them. But I've said this before. Like my hot take with Hunter x Hunter is I don't really think it has any good fights.
Interesting.
That's cap.
I mean, actually, I like the Crollo versus Hisoka fight.
That's not a fight.
Outside, like I don't think there's like a legendary fight in Hunter x Hunter.
Okay, that's fair.
Yes, Karabika is more so of a beatdown than a fight. So
I think that's my thing with Hunter fights. Most of the Hunter fights are one-sided beatdowns.
Yes,
fact.
The vast majority of them.
Yeah, because sometimes, like, it's not about power level. It's about like how these abilities play out against each other. And sometimes my ability is just better than yours. And
I think that removes any aspect of technical skill with said abilities. It's just like which one is based better.
I strongly disagree with that. Because a lot of times you have to be creative to figure out how. This is a very
and most of these dudes aren't creative. That's the problem.
Go ahead, take out. Get your shit up. Why do you disagree?
I was just saying that I feel like there's a lot of times where like someone might have an advantage in a certain like scenario, but the other person has to think about how these abilities work and how they can use them against them or in their favor, etc. Like one very small example is most people won't remember this, especially if they hate Command and Arc, but it was when Gon and Killua split up during the arc and he ran into like the owl nigga and the bat bitch.
Right.
Yeah.
And, like,
that was a sleep fest.
Yeah, the bad bitch. Okay, see, here's what I meant. But like the bad bitch had the advantage because it's nighttime, he can't see shit. But he used like her supersonic, like hearing and shit against her, like by making a wall, what seemed like a wall to her, just by like grabbing this tree and like making a loud ass whoosh with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you just have to be resourceful with how you use your abilities. I just like the fights are just so much well more thought out than like I'm just gonna do his big blast and blow you away, which can be hype.
I agree completely.
I just like when you have to actually think about how these abilities play off each other and shit. Like, but that's me.
Part of that also plays.
I agree completely. Like that should be the deciding factor of a battle. Like depending on the attributes. Like if I have an attribute that goes opposite of yours, like that's how I should win the fight. It's not just about power levels. Like it should be about tact, technique, outsmarting your opponent. Like those are the things that wins you fights.
I think that would be the case for Hakusho if it wasn't in a tournament. Which is if you want to detract it just for being a tournament and a tournament alone, then that's fine. But
so you're saying
being in a flat arena in a square doesn't allow for a lot of tactical usage. It's open air, open sky. You can see everything happening around you, and it's just you and one with the dude.
Well, name sometimes when they weren't in a tournament, like on a fucking arena field, where that applies to the extent that Hunter x Hunter does.
That was pretty cool. That's what made sort of the Gong versus Hisoka fight pretty cool when they fought. Because when they hit the stage basically went up in shambles, and Gong started using the bricks to run around. Right. It was like to shield himself. That's what made that fight pretty cool, because it wasn't just your standard flat arena fight. Oh, we just go throw hands. It was like, nah.
That's why for Yu, I appreciate Yusuke versus Jin the Windmaster for that reason alone, because it added an aspect of elevation to the fight.
Right.
So they had to
Right.
And also, you could say the same for Yusuke versus Toguro when Yusuke was floating in the middle of the rocks and was hiding amongst them and able to use his spirit gun at a precise time. That's another one. Also,
when they were flying.
Also, Kurama versus what was the dude's name with the box? I don't remember the kid's name. Yeah, it was the one that turned him into Yoko. But like when the mist was in there, that had interesting things. Kurama versus Ice Ninja Man. I can't remember his name either. But when they added the ice on the ground that made the terrain more slippery, so Kurama had to deal with that, and also the dome of ice around which nobody else could see into. That was also an interesting interplay for that. Mostly because I think mostly it just applies for Kurama's fights if you want actual tactical shit, because that's his character in a nutshell, being smart. Everybody else is kind of, because Yusuke being a street brawler is not going to be the most tactical guy. Yusuke or Hiei being a power junkie isn't going to be the most tactical guy unless he can outspeed you or blow you away with the dragon. And Kuwabara is Kuwabara, so what are you going to expect for that?
Probably why I lean more towards Kurama, honestly, because I like I said, I like people that think on their feet personally.
And in terms of Hunter x Hunter, I think the best fights for that is when you have people that have more complex abilities, like Moral and Hisoka, and also Kurapika as well. Even though Kurapika only really has one fight, I think his fight versus Evogan shows how much planning and prep time can be useful for Hunter x Hunter. But again, that's outside of Chimera arc, so that's not really a good example.
Yeah, it's more so Yu Hakusho fights or like in your face, like straight up meathead kind of.
Indeed, like hype fest type shit.
Word. Yeah, for lack of a better word, meathead type shit.
I'd say Netero
not completely though. Like I also think they're carried by like the characters themselves, like the character moments in between them. Like one of my favorite fights in Dark Tournament, which I don't love, is not the fight. I love the fight. I don't love the arc. Is Yusuke just literally throwing hands with this drunk nigga, like trading
when they
punches.
was in that,
but that's like
Yusuke versus Shu is amazing.
That's like completely carried by like their characterizations, like who they are as people, that they even chose to do this shit.
Well, I think that's what makes the fight
anything.
Honestly, the characters within them.
That and that yo-yo.
I put a lot more weight on. Well, not more weight than that, but I weigh like the technical standpoints like way more heavily. But that's me.
Can I ask a question?
What's up, Hams?
What makes a fight tactical to you? Just out of curiosity.
Everybody here, or you asking somebody specific?
I'm asking. I'm just somebody answer.
Interesting use of abilities and how they interplay with each other. Not necessarily a motherfucker thinking a lot.
Okay.
And
I think it's use of terrain.
Yeah.
And I think it's use of terrain and use of your abilities when obviously with said terrain. So like, obviously like just throw this out for example. If Gong's around water, would he be able to use his fishing rod a whole lot more than obviously in a normal fight where he's just fighting in an arena?
He still has a fishing rod? That's news to me.
Yeah, he stopped using
well, I didn't use the word tactical. I used the word
I was
technical.
saying as an example. I'm not staying current. I'm just throwing out something.
I mostly asked the question because I think. Oh, sorry. Answer. I didn't mean to cut you off.
My bad. I was just saying that I didn't use the word because I don't know if that was the response to me. I said technical, not tactical. So I'm not.
Okay. So what does that mean? What does that mean for you then? What does that mean?
That means based on techniques, like how these techniques interact with each other, not just like I'm using a strong attack and it automatically like kills you, like on some DBZ type shit. It means you have abilities, I have abilities. How are these gonna play together?
Yeah, and
like
also,
I want to see that back and forth, how these interact, not just like I'm stronger than you, so I win type shit.
Facts.
That's
Like,
what I mean by technical.
Adjusting mid battle and shit. Like
I would refer you to literally every JoJo fight.
Yeah, like when Morel was fighting old dude, the lion dude, and he felt
Just
like
about to say that.
he took the gas out of he took the oxygen out of
I brought that up earlier.
yeah, well, whoever said it.
All right, JBB Smooth, bro. I appreciate you, dog.
Whoever,
Thanks for pulling up.
I think that kind of viewpoint takes away from characters that have simplistic abilities.
I only brought that up.
I'm not saying that's I think there's sliders, and I just think that's one of the sliders that should be considered when judging a great fight.
For sure.
Real quick. Just wanted to say, Sensei, thanks for the invite, man. It was great talking to all you guys. I gotta jump, but this was a lot of fun.
Of course, JB.
See you guys later.
We gotta have you back again, bro.
Later,
Yeah,
JB.
man. Can't wait. See you guys.
Take it easy.
Go ahead. Continue, y'all.
No, you don't have to.
It's not like it's not like a straight up brawl ass shit. It's more so like just adjusting during battle. That's why I feel like can make it tactical. Even like with Miriam fighting Netero, he took away this nigga dominant hand and dominant leg. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just more so like I don't know if it's just necessarily tactical in that aspect or if it's more like I'm mentally fucking you up. You know what I'm saying? During battle. And I think that makes it a better battle than a fucking straight up hands fight.
But would Hisoka using his bungee gum ability and stuff, is that more technical or tactical?
That's more tactical.
There's synonyms.
Hold on. The reason why I want to
hold on. Let him get.
Yeah, go ahead, man. The reason why I asked that is because I think this series gets way too much credit for that shit. But I feel like
way too much credit.
Wait, I'm not saying it's not. It doesn't have strategy. I'm not going that far. My point is that it gets too much credit for it. Like it's the only series that's ever fucking done this. And
I don't think it's the only.
No, wait. And my thing is from what I'm just going to speak anecdotally, okay? So if you don't, if this is not, it didn't apply to you, don't wear the shoe. I find that a lot of contemporary like manga readers respond a lot better to the text than the art. Where I'm gonna bring up something from Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna spoil it, but I can see Mahito do something with his ability, and he's not going, okay, I'm gonna make this idol transform, and then I'm gonna do this, and then point. He's not doing all that. He just did it, and I could be like, that was fucking clever. And I feel like a lot of times when I'm talking to people about fights like that, if the character isn't pouring out their entire thought process on the page, they don't interpret it as strategy or tactics, where it's like being instinctively being able to do the right thing or something smart on the fly is still strategy. It's still technique and all of that stuff. That's why I brought it up, because I feel like there's some simpler series that always get like painted as this is just some stupid like whatever. And I'm like, if you really like took it in, there's a lot of smart shit happening in this fight. It's just that they're not going, all right, you see that attack is coming at this speed. I only have 3.1 seconds to react. Bro, like, okay, this is like fight. Stop all that. I don't know all that shit all the time.
I think what this comes down to is actually something that you said before regarding Chimera, which is the distinction between show versus tell, and how that's used within the narrative, both with the characters and in the fights. Because I can actually understand that point.
Yeah. Because my argument. Sorry, last thing. Because I always tell people like I think Corolla versus Hisoka is whack because all they're doing is bobbing and weaving out the crowd and monologuing in their head type beat. And a lot of people clap back with the fact that his ability is hard to explain. Fair enough, fine. But that doesn't change the fact that I'm like, bro, I'm bored. I was so hyped for this, and this is what happened. I'm like, bro, this is whack to me. back to me. And no, I'm not doing the thing where I'm like, oh, I didn't meet my expectations, so it's bad. I genuinely didn't think it was executed well. That's just me though. I don't do that. I hate people that do that. Oh, like I theorize B would happen. Oh, C happened. Then this shit's whack. I don't do that.
Okay. Well, fair enough. Refer everyone listening to a previous Gloves Off where we talked about that fight. Why he's wrong.
Did I miss anybody? Does anybody else have any other?
You tell me I'm wrong, but you don't be clapping back, son.
Takes on comparison.
Like you want me to repeat every? Like I can find the timestamp and send it to you later if you want me to. Me and Knox got on you about that one.
Go ahead, brother.
Does anyone else have any takes on comparing arcs, characters, or villains?
I think the only comparison that you could really do for Yu versus Hunter x Hunter is characters, and that's really the main squad. But as
Okay.
far as, like Hunter x Hunter.
So I think the consensus was Killua was the best character in Hunter x
Oh,
Hunter.
okay. I thought you meant like the entire cast of characters.
No.
Nope. The consensus based off this panel. This panel consensus was Killua, and then for Hunter x Hunter, the consensus was
for Yu, I don't even know.
top. It was like
it was really
3.
close, but I think it was Yusuke.
Yeah, it was between Yusuke Hiei or I heard a couple Karamas. So however you want to go. So Killua against those guys.
That's really hard. Jesus.
I know you said something, Steve, so that kind of was directed at you if you had a take.
Well, for me, like my take more so was the whole cast, not necessarily.
Okay.
I forgot about the character thing. My bad.
Okay, no, that's fair
Killua
enough.
versus Yusuke, that's hard as fuck.
That's really hard. It's really hard.
Now, if you was doing the overall cast, then for me, I feel like it's Hunter x Hunter. No chance on that. But you only got like the top 4, and then after that, I feel like their characters kind of drop off. Where Hunter x Hunter had more characters.
Hunter also has just more characters in general, so that's another.
Yeah, that's why I feel like that's not fair to even make that a statement. But Killua versus Yusuke that's ridiculous.
That's really hard.
But the fact that a side character is going against an MC says a lot about the story. But
that it does.
Yeah, I agree. I think that like Yu Hakusho is way more character driven, while Hunter x Hunter is more plot driven. So it's kind of weird to compare them on that, like on that standpoint. But
fair enough.
Does
anybody else have a take on characters before I move to the next topic?
Comparison Yusoka to Ghosts.
All right, man. Topic number 6. If both of these series came out at the same time, which one would reign supreme?
Which time period? Is this coming out now, or is it coming out in the 90s?
Exactly. That's the answer to your question right there.
I guess we can go both. So let's say now, right now.
That Hunter x Hunter.
If both of these anime came out right now in 2021, which one would reign supreme? Obviously, not.
Well, you got to factor in what if they both
let's
start.
use sliders.
Saying anime, not manga?
Let's use sliders. Anime.
Okay, anime but not manga is very
anime.
Kind of different.
Animated by whatever studio you want.
Hunter x Hunter.
By whatever
Because it's
updated, however you want.
Which one takes
Hunter x
off
Hunter
quicker?
because it's already modern with the anime.
Yeah.
It already
I
had.
think
It already
y'all
took.
missed
It already
what
took
he's
in the
trying to
modern
say.
audience.
Maybe you should have said manga.
Although, if you're saying manga, I think Yu would personally.
I
manga.
actually would agree, kinda, in that if it was released in Shonen Jump now, I think Yu Hakusho would hook people faster in Shonen Jump than Hunter x Hunter. But if Hunter x Hunter was able to continue and didn't get canceled, then it would do better.
It would eventually do better, I think.
Oh yeah,
How
if Hunter
long-
x Hunter came out today, it probably would have got canceled.
How long does it take?
That's
How
facts.
long does it take
Well,
for Yusuke to fire an energy blast?
Because they cancel fucking everything.
Because it
however
depends
long
on
it would take to
like
the end, I
Shonen
think that's
Jump.
when it takes
Because
off.
I actually think Yu being heavily tournaments at this point may actually play into its favor, because tournament arcs have kind of been phased out a little bit. And like the current
well, the strength of Yu in the beginning is that Yu Hakusho starts off character oriented.
Well, that is true.
That would have a lot better reception if it
And that of course.
in the
I
one
find
shot
that
percent.
most
Bleach still
contemporary
exists
Shonen
in
Jump
this,
stuff
like,
have to start
universe?
with a bang.
And then,
Like,
in the universe we're naming, if Bleach still exists, then like Yu's beginning is pretty similar to
Also, what'd you
Bleach's.
say, Naya?
I said I find them a lot of
So
contemporary.
like today, if it would have started today, if they would have came out today,
Then they'd be calling it a Bleach ripoff when it first came out.
Yu or both?
Yu. I think the beginning of Yu and like the beginning of Bleach are very similar. Like this kind of like Spirit Detective / Soul Reaper shenanigans before the main.
It's similar.
First arc
Just Yu Hakusho does
started.
a significantly better job at making you empathize with the characters more.
And I think hopping off
They
Naya's
really
point,
did a good job
I
of
actually
Yusuke's
think
death and
that,
revival. So
yeah, I actually think hopping off Naya's point, starting with a bang, killing Yusuke in chapter 1, and then having him actually go through the afterlife. Like if Togashi, like say Togashi decided to delve into that more, if he had wanted to, that would have been a really cool selling point for the first chapter.
Yeah.
Whereas
I'm
with
not- I
Hunter
can't-
Hunters,
I might be like it's kind of bad for me. Like I can't really judge, so I'm gonna temper my opinion just because I don't really read a bunch of new shit, to be honest. But I'm just gonna say that I find usually if I'm reading a newer manga, it has to have some kind of crazy hook or like emotional appeal almost in the first chapter, where I find that a lot of things I used to read back in the day would kind of take its time. Like I would always hear the argument, oh, like, hey, yo, stick with this thing. It's got a slow start. And I'm like, slow start's it's not a bad thing to me. I don't mind this when it takes its time to set up what it's gonna do, because I don't even know if something like Reborn even gets to chapter 61 when the Mukuro arc starts, because I don't know if these fucking kids would be patient enough to wait for that shit to happen. I'm like abnormally patient.
Yeah. I don't know. You can actually tell a lot of these series would be axed, because you can see authors from successful series have their series get axed despite the fact that they're fucking famous.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a fact. Kishimoto.
Kishimoto, the guy who did Toriko. I mean, both their series got axed.
Yeah, now Toriko guy. Yeah.
I feel like I don't know. We're focusing on the beginning a lot. I guess we're talking about how it would play out when they first came out, but like.
I mean, I was thinking holistically.
No, I think we have to, because if it's manga, then you're talking about
you have to have
serialized
a beginning, otherwise you're gonna.
Yeah, you can't just guarantee that either of them is going to succeed.
Is the question how they would fare if they came out today, or is the question?
Well, if they came out, all right. So wait, take out. Wait. So here's the thing: if they came out today, 10 times out of 10, they'd probably be seasonal. So if you want to talk anime, they would be seasonal. If you want to count, I don't know what you would stop the first season of Hunter x Hunter or the first season of
Exam.
Was that 24 episodes?
Ends around roughly 24.
Yeah, it's like 20 something episodes. So.
Yeah,
if you want to say,
it's always hard to do this exercise because they'd be written differently because it's a different time.
Yep.
So it's like it's.
And then I don't know what
many things for this what if scenario at that point.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I think it's like better just to do. It comes out today and it's being serialized weekly.
But I tell you what, Dragon Ball.
How far does it go
today?
All right, so if they're being serialized weekly, I think that Yu Yu Hakusho fares better. But I think that if, like, in a scenario where these two exist, like, in completion, I think that, like, just the way that anime fans will judge anime is different today, and I think it favors stuff like Hunter x Hunter over stuff like Yu Yu Hakusho.
I think that's something we actually all agree on, is that Yu Yu Hakusho would have a better chance of not getting axed, but long term would be more successful.
Yeah. The argument that we were basically making is that, like, it might not even get to that point, but we're saying if they get to kind of play out into completion in the long run, Hunter x Hunter would take over, I believe.
Let's say it gets to Heaven's Arena, I think Hunter x Hunter would take over by then. If it can last that long, otherwise it gets axed.
Like, if Yu gets rebooted, how well would it do?
And I think Yu has a good hook by killing the main character in the first chapter.
Yes, indeed, it definitely has a better hook than I'm trying to find my dad and I have a fish hook. But
chapter 1 of Hunt Hunt is pretty bad.
Yeah,
I didn't care about Hunter x Hunter until Killer pulled out. God, sorry. And I'm like the biggest Hunter x Hunter in the world.
Did you know the hunters are back killing animals, by the way?
That plays into the fact that he already had written Yu Yu Hakusho first, so by the time Hunter x Hunter came out, he got more of a leash to play with the intro, where with Yu Yu Hakusho, he had to reel you in right.
Yeah. Also, Jump was a lot more lenient back then as well.
Yeah, they definitely were.
Yeah, well, now it's if you don't get them what they want right away, you're gone.
Yeah, if you're not good within like 3 chapters, you're gone.
You have to produce immediate results.
Immediate results, or you're just not worth their investment.
That's how main character gotta be. He gotta stand out in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, it don't matter what your name is. Like, they definitely asking your shit.
There's so many people that want that position as well. It's like,
the competition's ruthless.
It's a stupid concept
on your A game.
Indeed.
Good shit, fellas. Well, like always, the last topic of the night is I need you niggas' hottest takes, and I will start with Mr. Black. Give me your hottest take, brother. It don't have to be you or Togashi related. Just give me a hottest take.
Ooh. I'm gonna just talk about the one that I already know is gonna be hyped up. That I'll be talking about Saturday. And a witch battle between Light from Death Note and Lelouch from Code Geass. My pick is for Lelouch. I don't know if that's a hot take, but if we just talking about smarts, wits, and everything.
You think Lelouch is smarter? Yeah, you think Lelouch is smarter than Light? That's not.
Well, I was getting gassed a little bit, so I felt like it was a hot take. So people was feeling Light.
Does anyone disagree?
Like hands better.
What I missed it. What was the take?
Lelouch from Kogias is smarter than Light from Death Note.
I think Light is smarter.
I think Light is smarter too. I think
Lelouch just had a better advantage with the Gias power.
It always comes down to what kind of smart.
Like Lelouch was out here struggling with among a bunch of idiots compared to him. Like Light only was getting like fucked over because these are niggas who are all like. Well, I think L is smarter than Light first off, but
so
like these are people who are as smart as him.
Light isn't like more politically smarter.
Yeah, like if you give
or
Light
battle
Gias
smart,
and put him in a Code Geass world, he would have achieved that goal way faster. I think.
Wow. I feel like the same, man. Lelouch was going against regular ass niggas, and Light was going against fucking L. And you can sit here and say Lelouch took over a fucking government or whatever you want to, but nigga, fucking Donald Trump almost took us over. So
he did take us over,
and that nigga wasn't smart at all. So
he did. I mean, he did. He was president.
Are you talking about my president like that?
Fuck that. Fuck dude ass.
Conversation. I'm talking more on this, but I personally lean more towards Lelouch. But something that
we'll talk about, brother. All good. Lord Dritzenor, go ahead and give me your hottest take, dog.
Shit, I say basically like half the things I say are controversial, so
do it.
I don't really like. There's nothing in my brain popping up. I already talked about Hunter x Hunter. Everyone knows my stance is on One Piece.
Monster Drits.
What's your stance on?
I don't know
your stance on One Piece.
Wait, what's your stance?
Oh nah. Here we go.
Not that good.
Here we go.
I want to hear
it.
One Piece stinks.
No, but my hot take would be that what's something that's already said, but you guys probably haven't heard that. But if you've ever seen or read Monster, I think the ending is awful.
Damn,
I agree.
I've not read it, but I heard a lot.
I think the ending is awful to the point that it basically ruins the entire story.
Damn,
I would not go that far, but I agree that
I haven't seen it.
I half agree with the second part, but I agree with the first part.
I have not seen it, but it has been recommended to me a lot, so that's crazy. The ending's that bad,
in my opinion.
Damn.
I don't retroactively cancel the rest of the series because the ending was bad, but I know like I get it, but I just can't take away from the greatness of like before because something went outside.
I think it depends.
So
I
won't say that
affects things that took place before it, based on certain things that happen. I wouldn't say unilaterally.
I would normally agree, but with the specific series that Monster is and how it was constructed
some of them, like,
in the
are
narrative,
building towards the ending the whole time, in which case it affects it much more.
Yes,
so
Monster. The way the story is that it's you basically wait, no, and then it ends, and it's like boom. So, for my opinion, that's my hot take.
Not a bad.
Sensei muted.
Sensei, you are muted, or your mic's fucking up.
What?
Oh, now you're good.
Yeah, we hear you now.
You hear me now?
Yeah, you
yeah.
All right, bad. Steve-O!
What's up?
Shit off, dog. Give me your hottest take.
Damn, I always struggle to come up with one.
I don't know why, nigga.
Y'all
know what the fuck time it is every time y'all come.
I don't want to like make nothing up, you know, and
I don't want you to make anything up. I'm sending y'all the topics at this point.
True, that's true. But it's like I can't.
Go ahead, dog.
I don't know because
I'm saying, bro, you be on the TL saying a lot of shit, bro. Just give me something, bro.
I don't think I say nothing controversial though.
Bro. You get a lot of backlash.
What are you talking about? How cold Fairy Tail was?
Like, exactly, bro. Like, don't do that, G.
Yeah, but I feel like I've done that in every Gloves Off at this point.
He definitely always has a Fairy Tail take.
That shit move higher up on the list every episode.
Why don't you have a Reborn take this time?
I respect Fairy Tail
Reborn take,
bro.
Or a Thatch Bell take, Steve-O.
I mean, but
give me that.
But nobody's seen those two, so it's like
I've definitely seen Reborn. I've seen Reborn.
Okay, well, I guess there's a lot of One Piece stands in here, so let me go. Here we go. Because I actually did tweet this before. So I think that the rivals and Zatch Bell are shitting on the rivals of One Piece.
Okay.
I agree.
I have not seen Zatch Bell.
One Piece doesn't even have the good rivals, to be honest.
Right, I have not seen Zatch Bell in a long time, but I do not know any rivals in One Piece.
I was gonna say who are the
people are gonna say Luffy,
Luffy,
Kid.
Blackbeard,
Luffy
Luffy
Kid.
Kid. That's what you're gonna get.
Did you just say Lost, Ebo?
Wait. So Law was never a rival in you guys' eyes?
No. You never supported it.
No. Actually, no, Steve, in the pre-time skip, yeah.
Yeah, but that was like
if you want to like base it on
yeah, but he was there for like 2 chapters.
Then it was a 3-way rivalry if you want to do that with Kid too, but not really.
Yeah, no.
That's actually pretty good text, Steve.
Yeah, that's great.
Good shit, brother.
No, it must be a bad take.
Downplay that Mori Kaido rivalry.
Steve, I think part of it that comes into it is that like that's what people expected and wanted. It just didn't turn out that way. So now when people talk about that, it's kind of like a meme, you know?
Yeah. Indeed, I'm very disappointed in what happened with Law.
So it is a good take.
Lord Glam.
Very good take.
You mind if I go?
Oh no, you got one.
No, I only want to go just because I kind of want to do a reborn. I was thinking about that. I want to do a reborn one. I think the Dying Will Flame, like as a power system, is equally as good as Ned.
Oh,
is that
we get it?
I don't agree with that, but I agree. It's a 5-power system. It's underrated.
The thing about the Dying Will Flames that I very much appreciate, which I wish hockey did, which pissed me off, is that
be good.
It was ever present from the get-go. We just didn't fully know that until they explained it. And I think the way that you implement something like a power system, like how you actually do, like sprinkle it in from the get-go, does a lot for how people will receive it. And what I mean is this: there's a 7 Dying Will Flames of the sky, but the different flame types and colors were always there with the Mukuro using the path of reincarnation when he used his combat path and his eye turned purple. Basil's Dying Will Hyper Dying Will mode was blue, but he didn't get shot. He popped pills, so we thought maybe it could have been weaker or something. Like you get what I'm saying? Like it was always there, but until we really explained it in the future arc with the different type of attributes, I was like, oh my god, it was here the whole time. So
you said it's better than Nin, or
I didn't say it's better than Nin. I said I think it's as good as Nin. And the reason that I'm saying that is not necessarily one-to-one, like, okay, like displace them from their series and compare them. No, Nen is better. But within the confines of its own narrative, it works equally as well.
Okay. All right. I can agree with that.
Glam.
This one will work for all the recent people on Twitter.
By the way, I don't hate Hunter. I just don't like Togashi. He's a fucking fraud.
It was a joke.
I think you hate both.
He hates Hunter and
No,
Togashi.
I hate
I think you hate both. Oh, JD, what's cracking, bro?
Don't listen to that nigga.
How you doing, Jay? I'm glad you came back with a hot take.
That's incredible.
I'm not conscious, but anyway, that nigga Naya is lying.
Hey, Jay, I'm gonna let Glam get his hot take off, and then I want you to go before you dip out.
All right, bet, I got you.
This is a take that people have they've been paying attention to recent releases. It's kind of an anime take, but so far from what I have read, and Sen knows exactly what I'm going to say.
I know what you're going to say. Here we go.
Mark Grayson from Invincible is a character that, in terms of MCs, is within a tier that I think Guts from Berserk and Kenshin from Rurouni Kenshin are, which is the pinnacle for me.
Guts?
Oh, wow.
Yes. I don't know if he's Guts level.
Potentially based on I'm talking about from the comic perspective, Sensei.
I've also seen some of the comics. Yeah. I haven't finished the comics, but
I'm a little over halfway through Invincible right now, and so far
only on volume 5.
I've seen him to the point where he talked to his girlfriend in the bedroom.
I love Mark, but I don't agree with that.
Oh, really?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
Come on now.
Oh, really?
Well, I just know how Naya takes these things because, like, he and I have talked about this before. So
no. Mark Grayson is not a nigga.
He is raw.
He is.
He goes through a lot.
Guts level.
Well, comic book supremacy, manga. Wow.
Around here.
Yeah, that's
well, Sensei. The reason I like look at it is like all 3 characters go through a ton of shit, are heavily self-reflective, and have qualities that I really much enjoy in storytelling and how their viewpoints on life and the other characters around them, and that's the most important thing.
That's actually interesting,
and it grows with them as they get older and stuff, and like they try to get that the adult mentality, if you will.
You know more about Mark Grayson than I do because I got to the point where he told his girlfriend everything, and
I've been reading this shit for like 10 years.
So like I don't know what happened past that.
Not gonna say nothing.
But
just prepare your buns.
Yes, prepare your buns.
Prepare your buns for greatness.
I won't challenge it. I won't challenge it, but I'm
completely
I'm
fine to reserve judgment on it, though, Sensei. I get where you're coming from.
Here, when you catch up, come back to us.
I will.
I need to get back on Kenshin.
When you finish it, sorry.
Good things, Steve. It's all right, bro.
Definitely will. JD,
what's up, brother?
Give me your hottest take, drunk nigga.
All right. So this
ain't no music.
This is for all the Jujutsu Kaisen stands out here.
Here we go.
You the way he just said that.
Here comes the Toji.
Let me unmute my mic. Go ahead.
Yuji is not a good MC. All you niggas sucking the skin off Yuji's dick. He is no better than Ichigo, and I want to hear a goddamn thing about it. That nigga has nothing to him. Nothing. He is a regular ass shonen MC, bro. Get that bullshit out of here.
Video coming out Monday.
Jay, just for that, I might join the Church of Toji.
Okay, we got another member. All right, yo, pass the office.
You get a lot of flack for having said that before.
I don't think Jay said that before.
I'll say it.
Bro,
I promise you, I'll say it on the TL soon.
Last damn year, this old me when I said that shit.
Wait, really?
Niggas think that nigga, bro. Niggas think that nigga
Yuji is so deep. Bro. That is bullshit.
Bro.
This nigga say, Naya. Yo, Naya.
He go as far as Jay. I just don't like that nigga.
Naya, he changed his demeanor for one chapter. Niggas thought he was whole built different. No, nigga, he's the same goddamn nigga. Get the fuck out of here. That's bullshit.
I wish Nox was here.
Oh my god.
I'll fight Nox. I know Nox. I'll fight that nigga to the end of the earth.
I will fight that nigga today.
I know Nox.
I'm not saying I want him to defend it. I just want to hear what he would say.
Oh, that nigga Yuji ain't no different. Ain't no different.
He would be, I respect that opinion, even though you're wrong.
I don't have no issue with that opinion, to be honest. Like, if I'm being honest with JJK, like, there's so many other more interesting characters.
So many more.
That's a fact.
Low key, the one that's possessing him is way more interesting than
Real quick question: how do you guys feel with the other two, Nobara and Megumi? Because I'm not even a fan of the trio in general.
Okay, so now if we talk about Nobara, I think
Nobara's my queen. Nobara's my queen. That's my princess.
Snoop Dogg meme.
Like
Nobara, my princess, nigga. Now, we might have to scrap. You talking about my daughter now? You talking about my daughter?
Like
nigga.
Nobara, I think for what she is, like overall, I think for who she is and how her attitude obviously doesn't change when she goes into a fight. She does her thing.
She serves the purpose. I need her to serve it. I don't need nothing more from her.
You know, she looks good, but you know how sometimes the ones that look good, they don't got hands or they just become, just cannon fodder or tits or whatever. Nah, Nobara showed up and was like, okay, I can still whip your ass too. Tits. So, Nobara's is solid. And then
Megumi, that nigga.
Megumi?
I mean, he's the seed of Toji, nigga. That's the seed, nigga. That's the seed of Toji. You can't go wrong with the seed.
You sound like Toddy right now.
Okay, it's fun.
You know what? I think his transformation. I think and I'm gonna put it like this. I think the new chapter that's going to come out, or the new arc that's going to start with JJK, is where
spoilers.
So I stopped.
All I'm saying is,
I almost said it. But
when you watch season 2, like he's saying, things gonna change. That's all I'm gonna say. That's gonna change.
Yeah.
Who?
That's what I'm
saying. Take God. Go ahead and give me your hottest take, dog.
Okay. I have a take and a mini take. And as usual, there's shit I said before, but just didn't say on here yet.
Sorry, real quick. I gotta head out. So you guys,
all right, Hemmings, I appreciate you. I definitely appreciate you, bro. You the GOAT. I'll holler at you, man.
I agree. I am the fucking GOAT.
Shut up, nigga. Shut up now. Get him out. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. Get that nigga out of here. Get him out. Get him the hell out of here. Trying to praise that nigga. You trying?
Shut up.
Yeah, shut up, nigga.
Jump ass bitch.
Yo, fight me, nigga.
Fight me, nigga. Funny as hell. Go ahead.
My main take is that I think Togashi needed hiatuses to make Chimera Ant as good as it was. I think if it came out weekly, like it wouldn't have been nearly as brilliant as I find it to be. I think that he needed that thinking time just to like come up with all the shit that he came up with. I would be interested to see how it would have turned out if he had to do that weekly. Because we've seen a lot of mangaka struggle.
So your hot take is that hiatuses work in authors' favors?
I think in the long run it did, but not from a weekly standpoint. Hell no.
From only anime, like anime only, he took breaks when he was making the Chimera at manga. I'm assuming, like
yes,
when
he took breaks when he was making 100.
There were several long hiatuses during that arc. And like, given how complicated and brilliant I find it to be, I just think like he would be hard pressed to do that week to week, as opposed to taking multiple months to like really think through how I want to do this.
Right.
But, especially being
I disagree.
Especially being a mangaka who's spoken about like the stress of trying to do this shit every week, like when he was ending Yu Hakusho. My mini take following that is that probably about 8 or 9 gloves off ago, I said the Attack on Titan was going outside, and it did go outside, like I said it would.
It did.
Shit was trash. That ending was terrible.
Cap.
In every way.
Ooh, man, I didn't read manga. I didn't read that either. So
that's Sensei's hot take.
Indeed.
But the ending of Attack on Titan wasn't bad.
Fair enough. If that's my hot take, that's my hot take. Hey, Sen, go ahead and give me your hot take, dog.
Hey, I just want to touch on his point real quick. I kind of actually don't agree. I think authors that do take hiatuses are actually good even without hiatuses.
I agree. I don't think it would be trash. I just don't think it would be.
No.
He did most of York New without hiatus.
Well, let him finish.
Hold
on now.
Go
ahead, brother. I'm going to make an example with Mira, because obviously he's another one known for hiatuses.
Very proud of you. Go ahead, Kim.
And he made pretty much like 80% of the best arc in the series, which is Falcon and the Empire, which was all bi-weekly. Actually, all of Berserk was bi-weekly until like almost the end of Falcon and the Empire.
I agree. I think that Berserk is almost, well, I won't say almost completely, but I think it's fairly unaffected by hiatuses. I think if it came out
I don't agree with that.
I feel like it would be mostly similar to what, like, maybe he's changed his mind about some things since it's been so much time, but I feel like he has a very good idea of exactly what he wants to do with the story, and has been building towards it for a long time.
I piggyback off that by saying I think all manga would just be better if they were on a monthly basis, personally.
I agree.
The thing is, like, with that, I think it actually depends on the author, because some authors prefer that deadline so that it makes them work. Because if you have a month, then there's a lot of time where you could potentially not be doing anything, and it could actually affect your creativity.
Well, wait, real quick, and this is kind of in general. I don't need Dritz only to answer this, but how long do you think it takes an author to draw 45 to 49 pages of?
Are you talking about just for manga?
If you're talking about Mira, then approximately.
Because
6 years.
I mean, like, you funny as hell.
Yeah, Sensei, if you're talking about just for manga, like that's a different.
Just for manga. Like, if on a monthly schedule, most mangas that come out monthly, don't they need to have like 40-something chapters?
I think they could probably do that in a week and a half.
Okay.
I think it also depends on.
I agree.
But wait. But is that a week and a half on the? I need to drop a chapter every week schedule, or a week and a half with actual sleeping?
Like, if you're being as productive as possible with as much time as you need, like, it depends. Like, that's why I said,
yeah, it depends.
It really depends on the author and what they're comfortable working with. Because some authors, like for me in America, we're not working these 20-hour fucking work days. We cannot be productive like that, and most people can. But in Japan, that's how they get things done. Most of them, at least.
Yeah, I was about to say, like,
assistants are another big thing.
Just like an artistic perspective, and this is just for that. Like, you compare comics, which are always monthly releases, maybe even longer than that. They trade out for what you would for most, compare it to most monthly manga. You'd say most monthly manga have highly stylized, highly detailed levels of artwork.
Right.
Where comics have to trade that out they keep their regular style, but they trade out for color and full color for every single page. That's just one difference right there that you have to count for. Is like the level of detail you would get for most artwork wouldn't be the same if it was.
I think it also depends on. The author.
I would be very interested to see like how Oda would do One Piece, artistically speaking, for a monthly release schedule.
See, the thing is with that, if Oda had to do monthly, the entire series would change.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's not just the art, but like the actual structure and how the story is told would have to change, because One Piece is not built. For handling that type of storytelling, it's completely insane.
Another example I'll give is I was reading an interview with Araki, and every time, throughout the entire time he was doing JoJo and Jump in Weekly Jump. His schedule was he finished the chapter within 3 days, and then just so he could have 2 days off, which usually is like no mangaka would do that.
Yeah, and then
so that means he never slept. That means he didn't sleep for 72 hours.
But he would have 2 days break, so technically he would have breaks.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you know, the thing is like that's the thing is like most authors, and this isn't just like a specific author thing. Most of them work like the 21 hours somehow, some way or another.
According to Miura, even he does, even on his hiatuses.
Yeah, according to Miura himself, his average workday consists of like 20 hours.
Even
like,
on the hiatuses.
How the fuck is that possible? I don't know.
I don't know what he's doing. But that's what he's
you doing that, and we ain't getting no chapters. Fuck out of here, nigga.
20 hours. God damn, that's a whole nother.
Weak as hell.
Anyways, I'll give my hot take though.
Okay, go ahead.
I actually just thought of this now because I couldn't think of anything. I'll just say this. I mean, a lot of people probably won't even know this. Nai's not even here anymore. I guess Steve will understand. I think Jolene is the best female Shonen Jump character.
This is to be seen. Yet to be seen.
It's part 6 Shonen Jump, then? Or is it? I thought part 6 was seinen. Or am I tripping?
Part 7. I think it started in part 7.
Okay.
Fuck you. Swimmer,
Fuck
you.
Exactly. I will revisit. Wait, when is it dropping? Because Sim told me it was dropping this winter.
We don't know yet, but I'm gonna assume it's gonna be winter. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
fair
fine.
enough. Scuba Steve.
Shit, mine would be based off of the results of y'all duo battle. Gon and Killua should have won by more against the Elric brothers, bro.
I agree.
I think Gon and Killua are head and shoulders above the Elric brothers.
Guts and Griffith should have been
easy. That was blasphemous.
I agree. Totally.
Okay,
the fact that Guts and Griffith lost to Naruto and Sasuke is blasphemous.
Sickening.
I figured somebody was gonna be pissed about that.
Guts and Griffith should have scored 99% on that poll.
Worst Generation Pod fucking followers have been disrespecting Berserk for
every single poll
every single tournament.
Bro, like Naruto and Sasuke should have gotten at most like 1% of those votes against Guts and Griffith.
Every single tournament, bro. Berserk gets disrespected, bro. We need to
you for best.
We legit need to start a fucking Berserk wave, and I'm finna damn near push that agenda on the pod.
We just need a good adaptation of Berserk anime.
Please,
agree.
Niggas just need to read that shit.
I agree with that. I watched that CGI shit, and I was
changed the game.
Disappointed as hell. Like I was like, man, I'm pretty sure this story's lit.
So you saying which studio got to do that shit?
Just read it, please.
Literally, just read that shit, bro.
There's no way to represent Berserk better in anime.
It's like 340, 350. Oh yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, like by the time you get to Millennium Falcon, like
I was gonna say, bro, you can get, once you get 150 chapters,
bro, just finish Golden Age and you're in.
Exactly. Once you get 100,
I ain't never read it. I'm listening.
Once you get 150 chapters in, bro, you will have. There will be no reason why you will vote fuck Sasuke and them.
Oh, that's not what I was talking about.
If you can get past Baron Penis, then you good.
Oh nah, come on.
What? Yo, Baron Penis lit.
That's my goal.
I can get past what?
You good if you can get past Baron Penis.
Let's talk about best.
It's not his actual name.
Wait a minute, nigga. Wait a minute. We're
gonna have a Berserk episode eventually.
The Count, Jay. The Count.
The Count. Okay.
Debo just calls him Baron Penis. I don't know why. Actually, I know why.
We know why.
Okay, but as long as we're respecting Mozgus, I'm alright.
Hilarious.
I hate that nigga.
Yo, not Jay respecting. Yo, what?
This nigga Mozgus body niggas with the Bible, with the
count
nigga.
The Count's better.
Holy snow. Mozgus is better. Mozgus in 5.
He was the most sacrilegious nigga.
Definitely better than Mozgus.
The Count is a better character, but in terms of feats. If you body somebody with a Bible, you already top 7, nigga. I don't know.
Also, Jada, add to that feat.
Top 7.
To add to that feat, that Bible literally saved his life from you know what.
From
Exactly.
From you know what.
It's the Lord out here fighting for Mozgus, nigga. What you mean?
Oh no.
It's a scripture.
Good shit, niggas. I appreciate every single one of y'all, man, for pulling the fuck up. This has been Gloves Off Volume 13. All of you niggas are the goats, man. Shout out to Black. Shout out to Lord Dritz. Shout out to Lord Legend Drunk Ass. Shout out to Steve-O. Shout out to Glam. Shout out to Take Guy. Shout out to Sin. Shout out to Scuba Steve pulling up late. Shout out to everybody who was here but had to leave. Shout out my nigga Hemmings. Who the fuck else is here? Shout out Mike.
JB.
Shout out, JB.
He threw
Shout
that
out
in,
Animate
JB.
Lately. Exactly.
Bieber.
Shout out Animate Lately, man. Shout out everybody in the comments. We fuck with y'all. Make sure y'all like the fucking stream, bro. It's a young nigga Gloves Off. I'm gonna try to do this again next week, but I won't choose Thursday because clearly this is JD's party day. So I'm gonna make sure I pick a better fucking Fafa. I'm gonna make sure I pick a better fucking day for this shit. But you niggas have been great. Overall, Togashi is a great fucking mangaka, man. One of the greats. I think Hunter x Hunter.
You
Hunter
could have said
Hunter
brilliant,
is-
but you know
that's a
you
fact.
got
I mean, one of them. Hunter x Hunter is definitely top
it.
two.
And then you would say Otis
No, my
great
God.
after they calling Togashi brilliant.
Yeah,
Actually,
man.
this is
So this is a great conversation. I fuck with you niggas, man. But yeah, man, we're gonna have to end this fucking stream because my dog.
Well, I
has
got
been
one question,
busy
though.
for a long time.
No, you
what's up,
don't.
G?
I
Save
got
that for
one
after
question.
the stream.
No, you don't.
What's up, gang?
I'll say it after stream then. I'll say it after stream.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. No, you're
Yeah,
wrong.
man. You niggas have been great. Make sure y'all like the stream. Subscribe to your nigga. I will put most of my homies' information in the description below. So fuck with the kid. Other than that, Sensei Glove out. Gang, stream is